Good afternoon. My name is Ethan Cook and welcome to Solent Soccer Saturday. If you aren't on your way to Thanksgiving dinner and focusing on us, then we welcome you greatly. From the Premier League to the National League and even a little trip to France, we have coverage of all the important football games happening tonight. In the studio with me right now, we have a man who we were lucky to track down and get here. He nearly didn't show up today, but he loves us all a bit too much to miss out. It's Marlon bringing us Bournemouth against Sunderland.
Yeah, I thought it would be rude not to show up, and I love you guys, so why not show my face? So an exciting affair on the way for us at the Stadium Light this afternoon. 7th place Sunderland host 8th place Bournemouth as both sides look to continue their high-flying starts. I will be covering this game. We do have team news for you as well. Sunderland have gone with Robin Roofs in goal, Mukiele, Ballard, Alderete and Reynildo make up the back line. Siddiqui and Xhaka in midfield with Traore and Chemzine Talbi on the wings with Enzo Lafay and Isidore finishing the lineup. With Bournemouth, they've gone with Petrovic in goal, Smith, Diakate, Senesi and Truffert, Scott, Adams, Semenyo, Tavernier, Adley and Evanilson leading the line. Yeah, an exciting game on the way and I can't wait to get going, to be honest.
Well, thank you, Marlon. Also with us in the studio, we have one of the most delusional football fans I have ever interacted with. If you mention Jordan Pickford around him, you'll be stuck hearing him talk for 2 hours. It's Melvin with Manchester City against Leeds.
Hey guys, thanks for having me. Yeah, I'm going to be covering Manchester City versus Leeds United today. It's a good looking game. I mean, obviously City didn't play very well last time, but they've given a good lineup today. We've got Donnarumma in goal, Nunez, Diaz, Vardiol, O'Reilly in the defence, with Raniers, Gonzalez and Bernardo Silva in the midfield. Phil Foden, Haaland and Doku lead the line today. For Leeds United, Nonto, Nemecha and James lead the line, with Gruev, Ampadu and Tananka in the midfield. James Justin, Struijk, Rodon and Bogle and Perry in goal. So it does look like a strong side from both sides, but it's going to be an interesting game.
Thank you, Melvin. I look forward to it. It's always nice seeing Manchester City. So, also in the studio, we have a very smartly dressed man. He came up ready to be filmed. But I've been speaking to him earlier, and I know for a fact he is boiling hot, and he might be struggling throughout this sweat-wise. It is Cody Deadman with us, who is watching Brentford against Burnley.
Hi there, Ethan. Yes, I'm absolutely sweating my ass off in this studio. But a big game is on today between Brentford and Burnley at the GTEC Community Stadium. Brentford in 13th place, Burnley in 19th. It's very much a bottom of the table affair. Lining up for Brentford, you've got Kelleher in goal, Coyote, Collins, Vanderberg and Hickey in the defence. Jordan Henderson and Jensen occupy roles in the midfield, where Django Quattara, Mikkel Damsgaard, Kevin Schade sit behind Thiago, who plays as the number 9 today. Up against Burnley, where they've got Martin Bravkret in goal. Carl Walker, ex-Man City right back, plays in defence alongside Twan Zebe, Esteve and Hartman, where Louise, Cullen and Hannibal Maysbury are playing in the midfield. And then Shuana's on the right wing with Fleming up front and Foster on the left. It is two very exciting teams. It will very much be dependent on set pieces.
And last but not least, he is our 4th favourite person that returned from their placement year. He pulled the short straw today because he is watching Wrexham against Blackburn. It's Nathan.
Thank you. Stockhorse race ground today for Wrexham Blackburn. It's not looking great for either team. Hollywood's still still climbing the ranks, but they're sitting 12th currently. We have for Wrexham Okonwo in goal, Cleworth, Shaw, Hyam, Longman, James, Sheaf, McCleve is the captain today, Broadhead, O'Brien and Big Kiefer Moore. And then for Blackburn, we have Perez, Miller, McLaughlin as their skipper, Pratt, Alabisu, Forshaw, Gardner, Hickman, Hedges, Marisha, Oshahi, and Gunderson for the rest of their squad.
Well, thank you, Nathan. As I mentioned before, we do have people around the grounds, and to start us off, a man at Barnet, one of the most ready men. He was the first one ready to go. It is Max Freeman.
Yeah, thank you very much, Ethan. You join me live at the Hive as Barnet FC. Although we're in the London Borough of Harrow, the London Borough Barnet's team, Barnet, are taking on Harrogate Town in EFL League Two action. The Sulphurites Harrogate Town have been anything but in hot form, currently sitting in 23rd, with Simon Weaver, the manager, saying that has been a perfect storm of injuries to his side. Some team news for you. For Barnet, Kieran Slicker starts in goal. Daniel Collins, Nick Tavares and Adam Senior make the back line, with Ryan Glover, Kane Smith, Ndami Ofaboro and Idris Kanu in the midfield. Also, we have Mark Shelton and Callum Stead acting as 2 10s. And then we have Britt Atabalonga, the former Middlesbrough man, making his start in Barnet's 3-4-2-1, chosen by Dean Brennan. Another unorthodox Harrogate Town formation, chosen by Simon Weaver. We have James Belshaw in goal, Zico Asari and Jacob Slater as the wing-backs. Captain Warren Burrell pairs with Anthony O'Connor at the back line. We have Ben Fox coming in, who's in the midfield alongside Bryn Morrison. We also have in the starting lineup Levi Sutton, Jack Muldoon, and Reece Smith. And we finish off at front as Conor McElhenney. Should be a really interesting matchup in League Two. Back to you in the studio.
Thank you very much, Max. We look forward to come back to you throughout the broadcast. And currently, next up, we go to the Championship. They have made all the way up to Millwall, which I don't feel envious of them. I'd rather be here in the studio. Might be worried for them lives. It is Jack Todd who is watching Millwall against Southampton. Hello, Jack.
Well, to be fair to you, Ethan, the weather here and the conditions aren't overall great, so there is no really reason to be envious. But it is set to be a fascinating encounter between these two teams. The Lions have made this place a bit of a fortress in recent times. Unbeaten in their last 5 at home, and they've only conceded 1 goal in that time. These two teams come up against each other, only playing last season then, 2 seasons ago, when Southampton came here and won late with a 93rd minute winner. Manager Alex Neil this time round has made 4 changes from the side that beat Sheffield Wednesday in the week. Alfie Doughty makes way for Conor McNamara, and Luke Condon is out following a shoulder injury from training in the week. That Lovelace makes the bench and could potentially make the bench for the first, and has gone for the first time since January. The visitors are on a bit of a roll under boss Hans Ecker as they come to London, with 4 wins on the bounce, and could make it 5 in the league for the first time since 2011. They've been fast starters under Ecker. 10 of their 13 goals have been scored in the first half of the game. It's 5th versus 13th here, but the positions don't really reflect the significance of this fixture. Back to you in the studio.
Thank you very much, Jack. We look forward. I mean, none of us in here are Southampton fans, but I like to see Southampton do well. Would you guys agree, Melvin?
Yeah, I mean, I like seeing Southampton in the Premier League, to be fair. It gives me a chance as an Everton fan to go watch them in person, really. But because obviously we live in Southampton, it gives us as journalists also an opportunity to go to Premier League games, get some experience from there. It's obviously just a good club as well, good community.
Yeah, I mean, I agree, Pat. We'll be bringing you back around the ground. This is the most exciting game that we'll be going to out in France, and I am definitely envious of where these guys are. We have Pat, who is at Monaco PSG. It's a 4 p.m. kickoff, but he has some talk for us right now.
Hello everyone. Yes, we are en route to the Stade Louis Stadium for a League One fixture of Monaco versus the French champions PSG. The atmosphere is building on the walk here. It's a very civilised, very, very civilised area, but there is still atmosphere building. It's very, very exciting for us, and you have every right to be jealous. Don't want to be that guy, but I'm really, really looking forward to it. We'll keep you updated and speak to you soon.
Thank you very much, Pat. So, moving around, back to more sort of Southampton chat. We all love the clubs we support, but that does kind of bring up the idea of like second teams. I know people aren't a fan of it, but there is kind of a thing you get when you live a place. Cody, do you have those sort of feelings?
Yes, I do actually. So I am a Chelsea fan. I think that's pretty well known, but I did grow up in Croydon, which is South London. So technically, Crystal Palace is in my heart a little bit. Obviously, when I was younger, it's sort of nice to be able to watch them locally. Very fun spot for Wilfried Zaha and Johan Cabaye. But ultimately, I feel like Chelsea is the team for me. Obviously, it's always nice to see a second team doing well. But I'd say back when the Super League was possibly being created, there were definitely some thoughts in my mind which were like, if Chelsea's getting taken to Saudi Arabia, to the US, where I'm not able to go to the bridge and watch the games live, Crystal Palace was definitely in contention to sort of be the replacement.
Yeah, Super League. What happened there? That went away real quickly. For people wondering, we've got some full times from some of the midday games. Accrington beat Oldham 1-0 at home. Bristol City got an away win for Portsmouth. We were just talking about Southampton. I'm sure there are lots of Saints fans happy seeing Portsmouth lose. And I know Melvin in the studio will be happy seeing that Sheffield United won 3-2 against Leicester. Melvin, tell us a little bit about the bets you've got on today.
Nothing much. Just one small one. Over 2.5 goals. It's happened now, but it's nothing important. I think all that matters is Leicester are not doing very well, and me as an Everton fan, I do like that, because Leicester were one of the clubs that did try to sue us when we obviously got the 10-point deduction. So it is always lovely to see Leicester do poorly. But yeah, I mean, it's a really good game. Sheffield United, I was told by you, Ethan, that Sheffield United don't score many goals. What happened?
Well, they didn't score many goals. I guess they came up just against quite a bad Leicester side. Well, going back around the grounds, we'll take a little trip to somewhere local enough. Jasper is over in Basingstoke to watch their game. Jasper, tell us more about it. I guess Jasper wasn't ready. We also have Cameron Jarvis. I know we're all a little bit upset to hear from Cameron Jarvis, but he is always ready, and he does have some good chat about him. He's at Walsall currently. He posted a picture in the group chat earlier. It was looking very nice for a club at Walsall's level. Cameron, can you tell us a bit about the game?
Yes, I can, Ethan. On the chat, yeah, that's quite nice. Going back to my days from hosting last year. It's a nice stadium. It's filling up quite nicely here at the best start. Fans to my left, fans to my right. It's a really sort of narrow and tight pitch here. It's going to be a really, really close game. Both these teams have played each other twice before in the league. Both ended 2-2, so both teams really looking for their first win in this matchup. A bit onto the team news though. Matt Sadler names an unchanged starting 11 and bench. He's still without Aaron Priestley. He's got a hamstring injury, so I wonder how that's going to impact them today. It shouldn't do much, but Walsall have struggled at home recently. They haven't won at home since October, and they've only won throughout the last 5, so it's going to be really interesting. Bromley on the other hand, they also name an unchanged bench. An unchanged starting 11, but they make 2 changes on the bench. Jeremiah Maloa and Carl Cameron come in for Byron Webster, make way for Byron Webster and Ben Thompson. Bromley are in some really good away form. They've actually only won 3 away games this season, but they've won 2 on the bounce. So it's going to be a really, really tight and close game, Ethan. So looking forward, it's going to be an interesting one. I'll keep you updated. Best of luck with your hosting duties. I'll catch you out throughout the game.
Thank you very much, Cam. We look forward to hearing more updates from there throughout the game. Some more full-time results. Solihull Moors drew with Wellston 1-1 down in the National League. MK Dons 2-1 against Fleetwood. I know Owen Bolger will be happy seeing Reading win 3-0. If you check the socials, you'll see a lot of updates from him throughout the night. Stockport and Barnsley also 1-0. And Hull City 2-1 against Stoke. There was a last-minute winner by Geldhart. And elsewhere, outside of English football, St. Pauli have actually gone up against Bayern Munich. I'm sure if anyone had bets on that, they'll be making plenty of money. What a result it would be for St. Pauli to go there. Bayern have been excellent at the start of the season. Nathan, what are your thoughts on Vincent Kompany's time as manager for Bayern Munich?
I mean, it's been good. It's been obviously very successful with what he's been doing. And the issue is Bayern. You always expect him to win everything in the Bundesliga and in German football. So it depends on how well he can do in Europe for this season and see how far he comes with that. Kompany is not my favourite person as a United fan. But as a manager, he's been able to prove himself. He's one of those players. You don't see many good footballers turn out to be good managers. So he's turning out to be one. So you just have to wait and see. He's still a young manager. So.
Yeah, I mean, he's had an interesting career. I mean, he managed at one of the teams being covered tonight, and it's not Manchester City like I think you'd all imagine with going over to Bayern Munich. It was Burnley, and he almost failed upwards, you could sort of say, which you see in some weird managers. Back to Jasper. He is now currently ready over at Basingstoke. Jasper, tell us a little bit about what is happening.
Thank you, Ethan. I'm here at the Wingfield Football Complex between Basingstoke Town and Walton and Hersham. Two teams in contrasting form. Basingstoke goalless in 3, and Walton and Hersham unbeaten in 12 competitive games. This game has been some sort of a rivalry over recent years when Basingstoke Town clinched Walton and Hersham to the title a few years ago. So maybe expect a few cards in this one.
Thank you, Jasper. I'm sure no one goes into a weekend expecting big things out of clubs like Basingstoke, but they can sometimes bring the most fun. Have any of you had any sort of interactions with Sunday League where you've gone and been like, wow, this is actually way more fun than a sort of Premier League game? Melvin?
Not Sunday League, but Sunday League. I've gone to a few of my friends' games where they've played lower level football, and it's always just so entertaining. You see some players who, I mean, unfortunately, they'll never make it, right? They're a bit older, 34 years old now, but you can see that there's still a bit of something there, and you can see some like 17-year-old players just play with 40-year-old guys. You can see the difference between in tackles, in goals. I've seen some absolute screamers. I've seen some of the most dodgiest goals you've ever seen in history. But that's the beautiful part of Sunday League football. Everything's just so unpredictable.
Cody, you were looking excited there. You look like you had something to say. It is always lovely to hear you talk.
Yes, so talking of the beauty of sort of lower league football, I went to Bracknell Town last year and I saw one of the best goals that I've ever seen live, and I've seen some pretty good goals in my time. So when I tell you that Bracknell Town turned into prime Chelsea from the 90s, they had their own little Gianfranco Zola just flicking it behind him into the near post through the goalkeeper's legs, and it was just incredible. They're absolute limbs in Bracknell, and those are the sort of things that you don't see week in, week out in the Premier League. I feel like the lower leagues, you do have a lot more sort of expression, and it does kind of leak through.
Yeah, I have to agree. Back in Germany, Hoffenheim have gone up against Augsburg, and we're just about 12 minutes out from all of our games in the studio. So I'm just going to go around to each of you and give a little prediction, see what we're saying about our games. We'll start with you, Melvin.
Yeah, I mean, City, obviously, they look the stronger side here, so I'm going to go with a 3-0 win for City. I think I'm surprised Shirky's actually on the bench, to be fair, but I think he still will eventually come on and score a goal. Haaland, obviously, I think he scores twice. Leeds United, it's just Leeds, isn't it? So I don't see them doing anything really, but yeah.
Yeah, so it's a very exciting game. Both teams obviously starting really well between Sunderland and Bournemouth. In terms of what I see happening in this game, I mean, Sunderland have got the home advantage. They've been very, very good at the Stadium of Light this season. So I probably would go with a tight Sunderland 1-0 win just to edge it. And yeah, they can move on and continue their shock European charge.
Yeah, I think with Brentford-Burnley, it'll be a very interesting game. I am probably going to pick Brentford to win. I'm going to go for an outrageous 4-2 though. I think there will be plenty of goals. Now this could come back to sort of bite me. But I do think Thiago up front for Brentford is just pure quality. I think they've got a lot of creative players behind him to sort of funnel through some goals. And Burnley really and truly are just sort of the Avengers of Premier League rejects. And I think they've got plenty of quality, but they are a very sort of lackluster, sometimes individualistic team. And I think it's going to be the sort of individual quality that makes a difference there. Can they do anything against Brentford, though? Seems to be a very organised side. I guess we'll just have to see.
Okay, before we go to you, Nathan, with Wrexham versus Blackburn, Max Freeman has popped back up. Max Freeman, what is the updates over at Barnet? I am locked and ready to go.
Yeah, so back at Barnet, back at the Hive, players just about to come out. Some of the mascots are lining up with the black and amber flags of Barnet, ready to welcome the sides out. Just a quick thing for both teams, really. Harrogate Town spoke briefly about Simon Weaver saying it was a perfect storm of injuries. He says it's his side, speaking to BBC, his side is really up against it to stay up. Now, they had a fairy tale promotion in 2019-20 season. The Weaver family have done so well at the club to make sure they stay up. So Harrogate Town hoping they can get out the bottom two really as quick as possible. And then we come on to Barnet. Now, Dean Brennan's side. Dean Brennan got the side promoted last season, and Barnet started really poorly, then got into good form, and now poor again. Over 5 games without a win. So for both teams really need a win here at Barnet. And Barnet don't have a great home record. They're currently 23rd in the league for home form. So really intriguing counter should be underway in about 9 minutes' time.
Thank you, Max. It is always lovely to hear updates from you and around the games. Nathan, you've probably got a bit lucky because before it was looking like we were going to take a drop-off from Premier League game chatter down to the Championship, but we've gone all the way down to Barnet. So going up to Wrexham feels exciting. Is it going to be an exciting day for Wrexham? Is this one going to go in the documentary?
It probably will be in the documentary. I mean, they find a way to monetize everything over there at Disney. But for the game, I think it's going to be quite a difficult one for them. Blackburn's on quite a good run of form, winning their last 4 out of their last 5. Wrexham's been here and out, like 3 and 2 for their last 5 as well. So it's going to be a difficult one. I'm going to go with a little bit of an upset for Wrexham today, and Blackburn's going to win 2-1.
It's always exciting to see an upset. Does anyone in the studio have some favourite stories of seeing maybe their team get an upset over the big time? I know Marlon, obviously an Exeter fan, his team is usually an underdog. Marlon, what have you seen?
Yeah, so there's been a few upsets I've seen as an Exeter fan. Probably the biggest one I'd say was back in 2016 when Liverpool travelled to St James's Park in the FA Cup, and it was a Jurgen Klopp side. He brought down players like Benteke and Lucas Leiva to start the game, and Exeter actually held them to a 2-2 draw at home, earning a replay at Anfield, which of course they did lose eventually. But yeah, very big and fun upset for those Exeter fans witnessing a 2-2 draw that evening. And also, more recently, on the last actual soccer night I was on, Exeter took Nottingham Forest to penalties in the Carabao Cup. That was also a 2-2 draw, but yeah, eventually they lost on penalties. So.
Yeah, I mean, I've experienced one with Everton myself. Last time Everton came down to St Mary's, I decided I'm going to go to the game, have a watch of it. I went with my good mate, Ollie. And it was a really good game until we conceded late in the game and it went 1-0 down. We did score, however, it was offside, fractionally offside. So we did lose to Southampton at St Mary's when we were in a decent run of football. I mean, Sean Dyche football, don't bring me back to that time. But it was quite an...
Wasn't that Southampton's only home win all season?
Yeah, it was as well. It wasn't great, and in that season they beat us twice. Out of 3 times. The other time was a draw, so we didn't win against Saints once.
Thank you, Melvin. That is your one Everton talk of the night done. You are now banned. I'm sure Cody and Nathan, both of you support, top 6 teams. You probably haven't seen your club be underdogs really any. Man United maybe a bit more recently. But, it's you two are usually the lucky ones on that side of things. Cody, do you have anything to say?
You know what? I'd say I've been very fortunate to not have to witness too many heavy defeats or big upsets. Obviously, if you can call being knocked out of competitions upsets, I don't know, but I think we're pretty fortunate to be in that position in the first place. I would say, however, bogey teams are a really big thing with Chelsea. Most teams have 1 or 2. We seem to have about, 10. It's sort of we'll play good against the top 10 in the league, and it's always the bottom teams that we struggle against. And then, of course, you go abroad, and then there's another plethora of teams that just always seem to turn up against us. It's a weird one.
Yeah, but you say this, but I'm just looking at my screen right now, and I'm seeing Manchester City 6, Chelsea 0 in 2019. Well, what do you have to say about that, really?
I would say, is it an upset? What year was it?
2019.
2019. No, that's not a big upset. I think really and truly that's two top teams with one in their absolute peak. And,
Yeah,
you know,
100%.
I believe that was Sterling's best season as well.
Yeah.
You know, Sterling was up there with Messi in terms of numbers
Yeah,
that year.
it was unbelievable. It was
It was a big defeat. I
Yeah.
don't think it was necessarily shocking at that time.
Yeah, I remember watching that game live. It was incredible. I mean, what was it? Raheem Sterling 2 goals, Aguero hat trick, and Prime Gundogan scored as well. I mean, he was so good back then. But yeah, I mean, Ethan, back to you.
Thank you, Melvin. We're only 5 minutes away from kickoff. I am more than excited. We have had a bunch of fun today. We've had pizzas all around. Did any of you, I think all of us got some pizza, didn't we? Melvin, what pizza were you attacking?
I had to go with the American Hots. We got Domino's. There's about 14 different pizzas. I just went with the American Hots. Standard, but it's quite good.
Marlon, were you attacking the pizzas? You went off to the shops. Did you not get enough in you?
No, well, I had a few drinks last night, and I didn't think Domino's would be the best idea for me on a stomach. So I didn't think I could stomach any Domino's today, but I was tempted.
Yeah, I mean, I just took what I could get. I was sort of very much stood there like a vulture that doesn't know what to do, sort of watching everyone else just sort of feast on everything. So I think I ended up with a vegetable one with a bit of bacon and mushrooms, like a good little mix.
Yeah, I mean there was a festive one out there as well. That was something. Would not be attacking that one again. But the ghost is obviously saying it's got to be American Hot.
We got really lucky. I think with the course, they managed to give us all really good treats, really good food, everything like that. But I mean, look, a few minutes away from kickoff now. Marlon, let me ask you one question quickly. How excited are you?
Mate, I'm hyped. It's a big game. Sunderland and Bournemouth are probably the two shock packages you could say this season. Sunderland particularly just being promoted and the start they've made with largely a new team and loads of new players that have adapted so quick to the Premier League. And we see issues like with Liverpool, players adapting to the Premier League as soon as they're signed. And Sunderland have been a perfect example of this. So yeah, I'm excited.
Yeah, I think on that note as well, with the Sunderland-Bournemouth game, I mean, Sunderland absolutely have just shocked teams so far this season. And Bournemouth, over the past couple of years, really and truly, have really been establishing themselves as a top side in the Premier League. I think they're two teams that are very set up to shock one another, and I do agree with Marlon. I think it'll be very exciting.
Yeah, I have to agree. I mean, games are about to get underway. Are people seeing anything interesting right now? Are people walking out? Melvin, is anything happening over at Manchester City?
I've got no idea. I'm still just opening up the game here. But I've just set up. I'm just logging into my account now just to watch the game. I can't really speak on it, to be fair. But I mean, Marlon, he's got the game open here. So do you want to speak about it quickly?
Yeah, so Sunderland coming into this game, they actually did lose last week against Fulham. 1-0 defeat, Raul Jimenez with a late goal. So they will be looking to bounce back and getting back into form at home. Teams are just coming out here as we near kick-off. And yeah, I think very exciting game. I can't wait.
Cody, is anything happening over at your game?
So they're just going through the lineups at the moment. No last-minute changes, which is good for me. I can stick to my preparations. Just nice atmosphere going on at the moment.
We love nice atmosphere. I mean, going down to Wrexham, the probably toughest team to get a stream for here, but were you able to, Nathan? What are we seeing on your screens?
Yeah, it's got the lineups out now. Players are getting ready, shaking hands. So it's just they're waiting for kickoff. So are we now.
Yeah, I am ready for a big game of football. There have been more goals around the world in the European earlier kickoffs. Werder Bremen have gone one up against Köln. Hoffenheim doubled their lead to 2-0. And Osasuna with a 92-second equaliser. What a goal it was for them. Boyomo, the defender. We're in for an exciting game of football. I can feel it, boys. I feel like there's an energy in the room. I see goals all around the grounds. Are you guys also thinking the same things, Cody?
Yeah, as I said, I am sticking to my 4-2 prediction with the Brentford win, and looking elsewhere, I can't say too much on Wrexham Barnet, but Sunderland Bournemouth, I think, will either be a goal fest or it'll be a little 0-0, because I think, again, tactically they're both set up very, very well. And Man City Leeds, I mean, come on, it could either be 1-0, Leeds could end up pipping it somehow, or Man City go and win it 8-0. So I do think there'll be goals, and I do agree. I think it'll be very exciting tonight.
Well, thank you. We go back to around the grounds with the first voice in from Ed Groves, who is currently doing far more work than the rest of us. He's actually being proper and doing work all week at the Daily Mail. Ed, what is happening in Rochdale currently?
Yeah, hello mate. It's starting to liven up. Kick-off is imminent. It'll be Josh Lundstrom to take kick-off for Eastleigh, but I might as well start with team names before I start talking about that. Starting off with Rochdale, who are top of the league, top of the National League. Jimmy McNulty has made 4 changes to the team that won 2-1 against Tamworth just last weekend. It's a debut for Nathan Broome in goal, as Oliver Whitemuth, the Man City lone goalkeeper, is injured. He's made 3 more changes with Devante Rodney, Joe Pritchard and Ryan East coming in for Petit, Barrow and McBurdy. Now moving on to Scott Bartlett's Spitfire side. He made 2 changes from the team that faced Hartlepool last weekend. Unfortunately, Sam Pearson misses out through injury, so James Wade comes in to make his debut for the Spitfires on loan from Western-super-Mare. Aaron Pierre has also dropped to the bench and is replaced by Louis Fernandez. So, yeah, I'll keep coming to you throughout the game. That's the team news for now. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Ed. We stay around the games as kickoffs are coming in. I'm sure these are the updates we're getting. We go to Woking for the first time tonight. It is one of my favourite people on this course. Photography master, it is Lloyd Stevens. Lloyd, what have you got to say?
Yeah, thank you very much, Ethan. I appreciate that. Yeah, we have kicked off here at the Laithwaite Stadium. Brackley in the yellow, Woking in red and white. Woking will be looking to continue their good form. 8 games unbeaten, winning 4 of them away and drawing 4 of them home. Whereas Brackley have not been so good, losing their last 4 league games. Last time these two teams met up was in the FA Cup, where Brackley Town actually won 6-2. Brackley have just had a corner, didn't come to anything. Woking 0, Brackley 0.
We have stuff going on in the studio. Manchester City may have gone ahead. What is going on, Melvin?
Yeah, it's 1-0 for Man City here. It's an early goal in the first minute for Phil Foden. I mean, it was a good ping into the side of the box. Phil Foden just worked his way through the box, and then he just put it in the back of the net. It's a really good goal, really. I mean, City are already showing their dominance here. I mean, I'm just watching this here. It's really, really well worked. It's actually beautiful football. He just passes it straight into the box, and Foden just hit it with his left foot. It goes straight into the top corner of the goal. It's an incredible assist by Nunez, to be honest. But yeah, I mean, it's only been 2 minutes here. City have been completely dominant.
I mean, that is no surprise. There have also been goals in the Championship. Sheffield Wednesday have gone 1-0 up against Preston already. It was McNeil, and Swansea with a goal in the first minute. Vipotnik go away against West Brom. We go back around the games. We are back to Cameron Jarvis, who we've already heard from once. Aren't we excited to hear from him again? Cameron Jarvis, what have you got to say?
Well, to be honest, Ethan, I've been sat here for a couple of minutes just waiting. Nothing's really happened. And just 2 seconds before you come to me, Walsall have had a great chance. Pulls out on the left-hand side. It's been pulled across into the middle. First shot's been saved by the keeper off the rebound. I think it's come off Daniel Kuma. And the second one, he's just about got enough onto it to cover. The second ball, there's a chance if I've got me up at the other end. So not really much going on for about the first 3.5 minutes. And then we just ticked over that 30 mark. And Bromley had a very good chance to make it 1-0. But it's still 0-0 here at the Westcott Stadium.
Going back to around the grounds, we go back up to Millwall with Jack Todd. Jack, how has the game started?
It was a very lively start from both teams here, Ethan. The Markers was having a massive chance outside the box with the sky. A few minutes before, Adam Armstrong registered the first shot on target of the match. Some brilliant right-hand side play from Tom Fellows. Both teams looking to utilise wide areas here. No essentially takes the backside. 0-0 again.
Back with more goals around the game. Derby 1-0 up against Middlesbrough. It was Agyemang, one of the long list of American strikers looking to earn a chance in the league. Well, games have started around here. So, Marlon, how has your game started off?
Yeah, it's been a very fast start for Sunderland. They probably should have taken the lead. Enzo Lefebvre found himself in plenty of space down the left-hand side. He hooked it in. Chemsdean Talby was in, an alarming amount of space in the Bournemouth box. He had a strike. It was well saved in the end, but Sunderland probably should have scored that. And they come forward again here with Lefebvre. Here's Talby. Go on. Oh, it's a curling effort, miles wide in the end, but Sunderland starting the better of the two teams.
Over into Cody, what is happening over there?
So far, it's quite back and forth, but Brentford are showing that tactically they are one of the Premier League's elite. Even if the results aren't there, they are set up very well. I do actually want to ask you all in the studio, do you think these long throw-ins and other sort of free kick techniques that are just emerging this season are sort of woke nonsense, in the words of, let's say, Sean Dyche? Or do you think it's actually revolutionary, and do you think it's doing a good thing for the game?
To be honest, I'll give you a really good answer here, I hope.
Fingers crossed.
I think that it doesn't matter, because at the end of the day, a footballer's responsibility is to put the goal in the back of the net. If it means running up the entire pitch, cool, it's still in the net. Or if it's throwing it in from halfway across the pitch, it still ends up in the net.
No one wants to see that though. If you speak to 90% of football fans, they don't want to see games slowed down. Focus on set pieces. It is ugly.
If you score from it, you celebrate, don't you?
Yeah, but you don't want that to become the default method that teams resort to, because it's not.
If we score 25 goals and 24 of them are from throw-ins, I'll be extremely happy.
But that's not going to happen, is it? And 90% of the time, it doesn't work. For teams like Arsenal, it will work. Fit the post.
Yeah,
I do think it's a case of enjoyability though. Like, obviously a goal's a goal, but Ooh, hold on, Marlon. It looks like something's happening at Bournemouth.
Yep, Bournemouth have taken the lead. It's Adley with the goal. It came into Evan Nilsson. His strike hit the post, and Adley was there on the rebound to tuck it in. Bournemouth have the lead at the Stadium of Light. They're just checking for offside now. It looks like he's timed his run perfectly. I don't see any reason this will be ruled out. Brilliant work from Antoine Semenyo. Evan Nilsson came into him. Keeper saved it onto the post. On the rebound, on the volley, Amin Adli. Brilliant finish. His first goal for Bournemouth, and they are 1-0 up at the Stadium of Light.
Goals flying in. That doesn't seem to happen on Newsdays. It feels like all the games that we watch, there are never any goals. But hopefully this keeps up today. It looks like Max Freeman might be back in from an update from Barnet.
Yeah, thanks, Ethan. Not much has happened. 0-0 here. Unfortunately, I wish there was an update. These sides haven't faced each other since 2019, and it's quite obvious to see, really. Both sides sort of feeling the game out in the first seven or 8 minutes or so, trying to get the better of each other. Nothing here at the Hive so far. 0-0.
Oh, Max, you had us all excited there. There was a big eye roll when you said it was still 0-0. Everyone kind of shrugged. We go over to another one of the men who is absolutely working hard today. He is actually the Tottenham commentator. Josh Cole, what has been happening in Tottenham's games so far?
Yeah, hello there, guys. It is 6 minutes into this one at the Snow Stadium. It's AFC Tottenham 0, Dagenham Redbridge 1. Really the first big chance of the game for either team, and it's that man, the number 9, Andy Carroll, who scores for Dagenham Redbridge. It was a scrappy goal. He just picks up the pieces in the box, bottom left corner, left-footed strike. And he's been handling Joe Osler all game. He's really hard to deal with for the Tottenham defenders, and it proves why he was cost 35 million back in 2011. So it's currently AFC Tottenham 0, Dagenham Redbridge 1.
Thank you very much, Josh. It's happy we have him to get live updates from Tottenham, because their scores don't even pop up on my little feed that I get. They're not good enough for that. But currently there are some goals on there. Doncaster went 1-0 up against Peterborough. Bolton scoring away at Luton. Luton not doing great. Going down to League One just after the Premier League a couple of seasons ago. Colchester 1-0 up against Cheltenham. Swindon have gone ahead against Chesterfield. And we finally make it round. I was getting the openings to the game, but we've been cut off with goals and people around. Nathan, what is happening in your game so far?
Much. There's just a few chances here and there, but I feel like I'm watching tennis at this point. It's just being pinged back and forth, up in the air the whole time. You'd expect it from these two teams, but still, It's not been great entertainment, but you know, we see what happens. It's a game of 90 minutes. Only 10 minutes has passed of that, so.
Yeah, that is it. Only 10 minutes have passed. I mean, lots can happen in 80 minutes. We go to Millwall. We know what happens mostly there. It's usually fights and drunkards, but Jack Todd will have an update for us here. Jack Todd, what is happening?
Well, this time, as entertaining football stat list is that it's still 0-0 here after 10 minutes, but chances are coming thick and fast. The Markle proving to be a real threat on that left-hand side for Millwall. Just flashed a shot wide off the post, but Southampton went right up the other end, and Joe Robinson forced Crocombe into a very good save there. It's been really, really, really entertaining. It's like a tennis match, as Nathan describes his match that he was watching, only I'm now watching it at the Den. Goal here is imminent. Millwall 0, Southampton 0.
Thank you, Jack. Some scores around the game. Norwich, I mean, I don't want to show my biases, but I'm very happy I've gone 1-0 up. Not that they'll likely keep it. Preston have equalised against Sheffield Wednesday. Chesterfield have equalised against Swindon. And Shrewsbury have gone 1-0 up. Their goal scorer called Lloyd. And we will go over to Lloyd right now in Woking, who has an update for us about what is happening.
Yes, thank you, Ethan. There is a goal for Woking. A long ball out to the forward. He's chested it down, beaten his defender, and slotted it into the corner. The Woking fans are absolutely thrilled with this result. It's Woking 1, Brackley 0.
I'm sure Lloyd is enjoying that. He is in the middle of that Woking crowd right now. He got unlucky and had to spend 20 whole Great British pounds to go watch Woking. I feel bad for the lad. We get to be in here, get free pizza, free everything. Any of you guys, Melvin, how has stuff happened since the goal was scored?
It's actually been quite interesting, to be fair. City haven't really been, well, they've been pressing, obviously, but it seems Leeds have been the more attacking side. The ball's been more on City's half this game. After the first goal from City, it's really just been a drop-off from them. And I mean, yeah, I do still expect Man City to take it away here, but Leeds have been quite well, to be fair.
I mentioned that I wouldn't be getting too excited about Norwich. QPR have already equalised. Swansea also going 2-0 up, and we have an update over at Basingstoke with Jasper Rowland. Jasper, what is happening in Basingstoke?
Thank you, Ethan. It's Basingstoke 0, Walton Hersham 0. We've only just gone past the 5-minute mark, as there was a slight delay to kick off due to the goal needing to be repaired. It's been quite a scrappy first few minutes here. Neither team really having the majority of possession. As the game goes on, you will probably see Walton Hersham control possession and have the majority of the chances. Basingstoke seem to be dropping back and inviting the pressure. And due to the gap between the teams in the table, Walton Hersham will probably be dominating possession here. As I said, it's Basingstoke 0, Walton Hersham 0.
Elsewhere, back into Germany, Union Berlin have gone 1-0 up against Heidenheim. It is Khedira. Sadly not Sami Khedira, like we all remember from the Real Madrid days. I think he is well retired. Charlton have also gone up against Coventry. And I believe there is some action over with Nathan right now with Wrexham. What is going on?
Blackburn has just scored a lovely little header coming through to the attack. I'm not too sure. Hedges has put it in. And yeah, it's a lovely little header, well worked goal, passing it around the back and then crossed it in. No one was there marking him.
Yep, great start for Blackburn. Sheffield Wednesday also going well. They've gone 2-1 up against Preston. And we go back to Cameron Jarvis, who has got even more updates for us. It is exciting to hear his voice again, I'm sure you all agree. I guess we don't have Cam. He was looking ready. He's typing in the chat, but we'll move on. Wickham have gone ahead against Rotherham. Who scored for Wickham? Melvin asks. It was Mullins. He doesn't look happy about it. Leighton Orient go overhead. Melvin, what have you got against Mullins?
No, I don't have anything against Mullins. I just love Wickham Wanderers for Connor Taylor. He is my absolute hero. Shout out Connor Taylor. Cody, you want to say something?
Yeah, I'd actually say I've got an equal love for Wickham, but for Assault, incredible goal. Marlon.
No. Okay, Marlon has just reacted big. I'm not sure if you could hear that from the mics across the room, but Marlon, what has just happened?
Oh my word, what a goal in the hammering rain here at the Stadium of Light. Bournemouth have doubled their lead in absolutely spectacular fashion. It comes to Tyler Adams. They're breaking away here, and the keeper's probably about 20 yards off his line. He just dribbles past the halfway line, has a look. Oh my word, what a goal. One of the goals of the season from Tyler Adams. He just completely catches Robin Ruffs out. Incredible, incredible. You don't see many halfway line goals like that, and simply superb. Bournemouth are 2-0 up at the Stadium of Light.
Thank you. Then there are goals absolutely flying in. There is more happening around the grounds. Michael is ready. It's the first time we're going to hear from him today. Michael, what is happening in your game currently? Okay, so we haven't got anything from Michael, but Max, we do know we have had plenty of already so far, and he's got absolutely more to come. Max, what are you saying?
Yeah, I've mentioned that Harrogate Town once hosted Eurovision Song Contest in 1982, and at the moment they're hitting all the right notes. Harrogate Town FC, despite the goal, still 0-0 here, but they've had a really good chance. The striker that came in, Conor McElhenney, on the left-hand side of the box, came in and he forced a really good save out of goalkeeper for Barnet, Kieran Slicker. Harrogate Town, despite being 23rd and playing against higher competition, are looking the better side, more likely to score. Still goalless after 15 minutes.
If I own a company, I want Max to be on my advertising team because he knows how to make something really boring look exciting. We have exciting things elsewhere in the world. There is a women's match happening at Wembley. It is England against China. And we have coverage over there with Rochelle. Rochelle, what is happening currently at Wembley?
Hi, yeah, it's Chloe and Rochelle here. We're joining you from outside Wembley Stadium on this very cold and windy, very windy Saturday afternoon ahead of England versus China.
The Lionesses have sold out Wembley as they continue their homecoming series after winning back-to-back Euros, and the fans are starting to come in their numbers. Although it may be chilly, the atmosphere is really heating up.
So we'll be providing all of the pre-game build-up, and we've also just done an interview with ESPN's Tom Hamilton. We've got another interview lined up ahead of this 5:30 p.m. kickoff for England versus China at Wembley.
Yep, I'm sure we all look forward to that. We'll go to Cameron Jarvis. There has been a goal in his game. Cameron, what has happened?
Yeah, thank you, Ethan. It's wonderful. Sorry, Ethan, I disconnected a bit there. The stadium Wi-Fi got part of it, but it's 1-0 to Bromley. It's Ben Crowhouse with the goal. Bromley really haven't had a chance up into that. The ball was played into the feet of Mitch Pinnock, and Pinnock then just laid up to Crowhouse, who was inside the Wolves 18-yard box, turned away and joined it into the bottom corner past Niall Roberts. 18 minutes gone here. It's 1-0 Bromley.
Thank you, Cameron. I mean, there's been plenty going on around the grounds. Brackley have had Zach Lilly sent off. Barcelona have kicked off against Alaves, and in the first minute, Alaves have scored. It has been an absolutely wild game of football. It's hard to keep up with. We'll go back to Totton with Josh Cole, who has more to bring us.
Yeah, thank you. It's 18 minutes into this one at the Snow Stadium. It's AFC Tottenham 0, Dagenham Redbridge 2. It's that man again, Andy Carroll. And it was really Tottenham architects of their own downfall. Max Evans' clearance just went straight to Andy Carroll and 30 yards out in one move, and he took the ball down and just lifted it straight over Evans and into the goal. I mean, that is what class gets you. It's two shots for Dagenham Redbridge and for Carroll, and it's 2 goals. So they've got 0, Dagenham Redbridge 2, the visitors in Dreamland.
Thank you, Josh. And I believe we have Michael back and ready to go. Michael he hasn't got the most exciting game on paper, but Michael, what has been going on?
Thank you, Ethan. It's still 0-0 here at the Melbourne Stadium.
In the recent minutes, Chelmsford City have been on top. Um, Lyle Taylor blazing a free kick just over the bar about 2 or 3 minutes ago. And the ball now comes for a goal kick to Chelmsford. They've been dominating recently. Torquay struggling to deal with them on the counter attack, but still 0-0 here at the Melbourne Stadium.
Fascinating stuff, Michael. Well, we have one more round the game, rounds to go left. It is Lloyd. He is at Woking with more action happening. Lloyd, what has happened?
As you said a minute ago, Ethan, Brackley Town have just been shown a red card. Woking's winger was going down the wing, he's taken a heavy touch, and the Brackley player, is just way too late, and the Woking player's gone flying. I think it's cynical. I think it's a straight red. Woking are all over this match at the moment. They just had a shot outside the box, just shy of the post. It's Woking 1, Brackley 0.
Lloyd doing well to say the right things there in the crowd. We go to Melvin. Melvin, what has happened in Manchester City against Leeds?
Thought it was a goal. To be honest, Small, I would think you'd say the same. It looked almost certain to go in for Man City to make it 2-0. It was incredible cut through. Haaland didn't get to the ball, but it was Phil Foden who took a shot, just not like his earlier one, but straight onto goal. But James Justin was right there. He just dropped his foot in front of it and stopped the ball from going in, and it went out for a corner. It's still 1-0 here, but it's getting really, really close to a second here.
Hopefully we get some more. Marlon, some unlucky news for you. Bradford have gone 1-0 up against Exeter. But Marlon, what is happening in the game you are currently watching?
Well, I think Exeter are going down, that's safe to say. But, I mean, in the game I'm currently watching, I'm still sort of in shock from that Tyler Adams goal, to be honest. I mean, once you see it, if you're live on air, I mean, it's unbelievable. What a goal from the halfway line. But there were just shouts for a red card, actually. Evan Nilsson seemed to be breaking through on goal. Alderete sort of wrestled him to the floor. I think probably the referee's decision, it wasn't close enough to the goal to brandish a red card, and he has been shown a yellow. But plenty of appeals in the Bournemouth camp.
Moving round, finally things have calmed down a little bit. We can get some analysis about what's going on in the studio some more. Nathan, can you give us any more updates on what's been happening in your game?
Yeah, still 1-0 Blackburn. It's settled down now. The team's actually passing it around, so we'll just have to see what happens. Wrexham looks a bit more settled. They've looked like they're able to build up on some chances, but they're just not actually able to get any shots off just yet. Blackburn, I think they're just playing for the counter, sitting back now, just try and hold it off for the next 70 minutes.
Well, hopefully there are some more goals just for us here. Cody, we go back to your game. Has anything else happened in the past, 15 minutes?
You know what? The only thing of note that's happened is Hannibal Mejbri got booked for simulation in the box. It looked like it could have been a penalty, and then on the replay, it looked like a ghost broke his ankle. Literally just snapped in half, and he just got up like it was nothing. But apart from that, it's been a really entertaining start to the game. It's probably the best 0-0 opening I've watched. For 20 minutes where nothing's really happened, the football's been excellent. I feel like I'm watching like Barcelona back in the 2010s. Like Brentford are whipping the ball about like at a really quick and nice rate, and Hannibal Mejbri is looking like a little De Bruyne. You know, he's just pinging it up the pitch back and forth, really controlling the game. He looks like a talisman for them. Can he score? I don't know.
That's what he does.
Well, hopefully you do get some goals, Cody, just to kind of make that 0-0 turn into the most exciting game you have ever seen. We go back up to Millwall with Millwall against Southampton. Jack Todd, what has been happening?
Still 0-0, Ethan, but Millwall are well on top now. Atmosphere's been fantastic in these opening 25 minutes, and the performance is now matching it. Ivanovic has caused all sorts of problems centrally, with clever flicks, bringing in other players into the play. The wingers Aziz and Amarky have been a real threat. Southampton now under the pressure and just about surviving there. Millwall likely to go in front. Millwall 0, Southampton 0.
Thank you, Jack. Hopefully we do see some more goals in that game. It is always nice to hear from you. It has settled down a little bit. There have been some half-times around in the European. Bayern Munich still tied with St. Pauli. There are draws going around in the Welsh League. Not like anyone really cares about the Welsh League, let's be real. In Scottish football, Partick Thistle have gone 1-0 up against Forfar. Shrewsbury have gone 2-0 up against Gillingham. Genoa have gone up against Verona, and there is absolute chaos happening to the right of me with Nathan. Nathan, talk us about what is happening right now.
Crossing to the box. I'm not too. Did that go in or not? I'm trying to see if it was outside the net and it just went through. If there's a hole or something. It's very difficult to see from here. Yeah, side of the net. It didn't go in fully, but it was very close. It was right at the back of the post. And then just left wide open.
Bullet header.
I mean, sounds exciting. Back to the Italian football. Parma have had a man sent off, Trollio, and the penalty was knocked in afterwards. Lamine Yamal has equalised for Barcelona, and we go to Melvin. Melvin, what has happened?
It's a second goal for Man City. I said it was coming. And FPL lovers, here you go. Josko Vardiol has scored. It's not Haaland. We'll get there soon, hopefully. But Josko Vardiol has scored the second goal. It came from a Foden shot, which led to a corner. Corner was taken beautifully, and it just landed straight on his head. I think there's a little scuffle inside the... Yeah, keeper's made a big mess there. Keeper looks like he got hand on it, but O'Reilly heads it. Yeah, O'Reilly heads it perfectly, literally right to Vardiol's feet, and Vardiol just finishes it so easy. It's literally just a tap-in for him. So, as I said, City 2-0 up.
Yeah, I think absolutely no surprises there. Man City, I mean, one of the best teams in the league, although not the best team in the league. Will Cope has joined us in the studio. We are absolutely excited. Will, if you lean into their mic, can you tell us a bit about Sheffield United winning today?
Fantastic, wasn't it? 3-2 victory against Leicester City. Who would have thought that on the back of such a dreadful start to the season that they would come back and stick three past... who was it the other night they stuck three past? Well, first of all, they stuck three past Sheffield Wednesday. Then they won the other night as well. And then here we are scoring 3 goals after, 45, 50 minutes away at Leicester. I mean, the only way is up for the Mighty Blades at the moment. Chris Wilder has got them firing on all cylinders. He wants to make sure that they are aggressive in their approach and score goals early, cut out the mistakes. Hold on to your hats, guys, because I reckon by the end of January, be in the top 6.
Well, thank you, Will. I'll let you get back to taking photos or whatever you actually came in here to do. We will go to Cameron Jarvis. Cameron, we have heard from you many times tonight. Have you got some exciting news for us this time?
Well, somehow, Ethan, it's still 1-0 for Bromley here. It should be 2. Bromley are just on the counter all the way left-hand side. It really should be 2. Great back in the midfield from Bromley. It was then a scorpion kick over the top to find the feet of Michael Cheek. Cheek then went low to his right-hand side. It's a great save from Miles Roberts to keep him out the back of the net. It should be 2-0. It's still 1-0 Bromley, though, as the half-an-hour mark approaches.
Thank you, Cam. Well, looking around the games, Carlisle have gone 1-0 up against Tamworth. Leyton Orient have put another past Burton to make it 2-0. St Mirren going up against Dundee. It was Mandron who scored that goal. And we go over, there seems to be action in the room. Marlon, what is happening in your game?
Well, there's been a controversial penalty given to Sunderland. It was Ray Hill, though, breaking into the box. Alex Scott sort of seemed to bundle into him. Questions whether he got the ball or not. The referee has pointed to the spot. Alex Scott looks quite unhappy with this decision as the rain continues to pour down. Quite an exciting start here. We'll come back to you for the penalty. It is currently being checked by VAR. I have to say it didn't look like a penalty. I thought it was soft. It looked like he got enough of the ball. Ray Nildo's still clutching his leg, still on the floor, looking injured. So yeah, the referee's current decision is a penalty. VAR check ongoing. We will come back to you.
Thank you, Marlon. Well, to go back, I mentioned earlier about Max having to kind of sell up the game. I've had a little smile on my face in a couple of minutes seeing the notification. Max, can you tell us what has happened over there?
Yeah, it's now 1-0 Barnet. I was talking about Harrogate's great play, how they were dominating the game, but the Beast started swarming, and Britt Asabalonga just had to be him, didn't it? The man that used to play for Middlesbrough, starting today in place of Ndlovu up front. Came in from the left, cut inside, lovely little finish just outside the box into the bottom right-hand corner. Now Barnet have taken a real stranglehold of the game. Idris Khan, who's now just had a great chance as well. Current scoreline, Barnet 1, Harrogate Town 0.
Thank you, Max. I'll be honest, I didn't hear a word you just said because I've been on tender hooks waiting for this. What's going on with this penalty over at Marlon's game? Marlon, what has happened?
Well, as we speak, Enzo Lefebvre has stepped up with the ball. He scored 3 out of his last 4 penalties. Can he make it 4 out of his last 5? Oh, what a penalty. What a penalty. Smashed it down the middle. Keeper, no chance. Sunderland back into the game before the half-hour mark. The rain continues to pour down here. Reggie Lebrun, not much reaction from him as he stays with his hood up, looking quite unimpressed with this start Sunderland have made. They've got themselves back into the game now. Controversial penalty decision, but Enzo Lefebvre steps up, smashes it in. Sunderland 1, Bournemouth 2.
Thank you, Marlon. He's had an exciting game. 3 goals already in his game. Cody, you're still sat over there with 0 goals happening in your game. Can you tell us a bit more? You have said that the game's been quite good so far. Has it kept up?
Yeah, I want to retract my statement. It's the least enjoyable 8 minutes 53 seconds of football I've watched. I don't know what's happened really truly here. It started off so well. There was so much promise. But as I did say before, forget about my goal predictions. But they're 2 very well set up teams with lots of talent, and there's just no sort of clinicality here from any of the players on the pitch. I will be very upset if this stays 0-0.
Well, I mean, I wouldn't say football's football. I could still see it being 4-2. Who knows after what's happened?
Yeah, football's football, but you never want to see a 0-0, do you?
You never do, but you could still get goals. There is a long way to go. We are only half an hour in. Back to the One Championship game that is in the studio. Nathan, what is happening down at Wrexham?
Blackburn on the attack, whipped it in, and it's just cleared. Earlier there was a really great chance for Blackburn. The young defender, number 4, just tracked his man and blocked it for a corner, and the corner was taken poorly. It was very poor. They tried to go through the legs, miskicked it, and then Wrexham were just able to carry it through into their half. Nothing came of that chance though, but they settled down now, so we'll see what happens.
Yes, we will see. Melvin, over at your game, obviously we heard when it went 2-0. Is it looking like it's going to be 3, or could Leeds bring it back?
Let's not get too far ahead of ourselves. It's still City dominated, really. I mean, Leeds have just had their first real big chance, I guess. It was well worked by Dan James and Nonto, and it's just played to Nemecha, but he's just skied it completely above the post. And that's as I said,
that's a big chance.
That's exactly such a big chance, and it's wasted so easily. Really should be taking advantage of that chance, maybe slot it lower, but there's just so much power on that shot. But Leeds are on the attack here again, just lost it again. I mean, City looks so much better than Leeds do at the moment, so it's still 2-0 here in the 31st minute.
How exciting. There has been plenty of action over in Scottish football. Ayr United scoring 2 goals within 2 minutes to go 2-0 up against Turriff United, which I'm sure is a team we were all excited to hear the results of. Rafe going 1-0 up against Alloa. Dundee equalising after a St Mirren own goal from Gogic. And Stranya have gone 1-0 up against Clydebank. Wimbledon have gone 1-0 up against Huddersfield, and Lincoln 1-0 up against Port Vale. We have more action around the grounds. Josh Cole at Totton, is there more action in your game?
There absolutely is more action. It's there to Tottenham 0, Dagenham Redbridge 3. The day just gets bad to worse for Tottenham, but it just keeps getting better and better for hat-trick hero Andy Carroll now. The ball comes in from the left-hand side. He just brings it down in the box. He's got so much space, and he just waits on Max Evans, the goalkeeper from Tottenham, to make the first move, and he just delicately dinks the ball over Evans and into the back of the net, and it's Hesse Tottenham 0, Dagenham Redbridge 3.
Well, it's not a great result for the team Josh works for, but I'm sure his paycheck remains the same. Norwich have gone 2-1 up against QPR after a QPR own goal from Mugwenge. And going back to Basingstoke, Jasper Rowland, what has been going on?
Yes, thank you, Ethan. We have had a goal here at the Wembley Football Complex. Walton Hersham have taken the lead. It was a really poor defensive header from a Basingstoke centre-back, right in the path of Joel Powell, former Charlton Academy product, and he slotted it away into the bottom corner. Basingstoke have had another opportunity though. John Drew Brown's free kick, easily saved, however. Basingstoke 0, Horton Hersham 1.
Thank you, Jasper. There have been a few more goals. Crawley have gone 1-0 up against Salford. Will Charlton on the TV punditry will be happy about that. Sutton going 1-0 against Gateshead, and Altrincham equalising it. Back in the studio, Marlon, what has been going on over there?
Yeah, this has been an end-to-end game. I have to say, it's so refreshing to see two sides that actually want to play football. You know, none of this long throw-in set-piece nonsense. Bournemouth and Sunderland have to be in the Premier League this season the two best adverts for a proper footballing side. I mean, both of them are just attacking this game. The ball is just going from end to end. It's brilliant to watch. Both teams putting everything on the line here. There's been a few controversial decisions. The rain continues to barrel down over the Stadium of Light, so that's obviously going to have a few impacts on proceedings. But yeah, cracking game. I'm loving every second.
Ooh.
In more news, Cardiff 1-0 up against Mansfield. I'm sure Nathan, he was originally going to watch that game, maybe regretting skipping over and watching Wrexham now. And he's put on the chat that there isn't anything to talk about, but he's stayed around. And if I know if anyone knows just how to say something when there is nothing to say, it is Michael. Michael, what is going on over where you are?
Thank you, Ethan. To be honest with you, not much since I last spoke. I'd say Torquay have come into the game a little bit more now, but the game is consistent of a lot of goofballs, strikers chasing. That's what it's been reduced to. Referees both for fouls. The crowd on both sides getting agitated by the decision coming about. But I'm hoping something will happen soon to really spice this game up.
Thank you, Michael. Norwich have actually managed to go 3-1 up, which, I mean, I am happy about. Notts County have had a red card for serious foul play. It was Tyrese Hall. And yeah, that things calming down. Not much time to go until half time. Any of you boys feeling like that anything's going to change in your games? Melvin, do you want to start us off?
I mean, obviously, I said earlier, Leeds United have been more attacking. It's completely switched around now. It's all Man City. Leeds just cannot get out of their own box, or their own half. Sorry. I mean, I expected City to dominate this game, but it's actually unbelievable. Corner-wise, it's 4 corners to 0 for Man City. Foden's looked like prime Messi today. I mean, he's had so many shots on target, and his dribbling is incredible today. He's actually looking really powerful. I do expect maybe one more goal this half, but I do expect by full time it could be 5 or 6-0.
Well, we may have had some goals around the ground. Cameron Jarvis, what is happening over there? I guess we don't have Cameron Jarvis ready, but we've heard from him a lot tonight. He seems to be radio's favourite man around the ground. Max Freeman, down at Barnet. I mean, he's got nothing exciting going on because he's in Barnet, so no wonder he's come on here to talk all the time. Max, what is happening in your game?
Well, I think Barnet's like to think Barnet's quite exciting. Thank you very much. We've seemed to have an incident on the touchline here. Adam Seniors seemed to have caught an elbow from, we think it's Reece Smith. Now, Dean Brennan, the Irish manager for Barnet, he's known as a very outgoing character, isn't very happy on the touchline right now as we speak. And Adam Senior's still down, getting treatment on that eye. So tensions are starting to rise here at Barnet. But Barnet seems to have taken control of this game, still 1-0.
Well, we stick around the grounds. Ed Groves has more information of what is going on with Rochdale against Eastleigh. Ed, what has happened?
Yes, Rochdale 0, Eastleigh 0 still. We're 35 minutes into the game. Both teams have come extremely close to opening the scoring. The first chance fell to Devante Rodney of Rochdale. He had a chance about 4 yards out. Nick Townsend, outstretched, made a brilliant save. It was Eastleigh's chance next to come very close. Josh Lundstrom picked the ball up on the edge of the box, went past 3 or 4 players. His shot was saved. And then we've seen 2 absolutely spectacular efforts. Unfortunately, neither of them went in, but it was an overhead kick from Tarin Alakira, a bit of a tough one to say, which was fantastically saved again by Nick Townsend. And then just a minute after that, Kieran Evans tried his luck from 35 yards out, narrowly missing the top left corner. So it's still 0-0 here at Rochdale versus Eastleigh.
Thank you, Ed. There have been a few more goals around the game. Gillingham have got a goal back against Shrewsbury to make it 2-1. It was a Stubbs' own goal. Newport have gone 1-0 up. Cameron Jarvis, he may not be the most technically savvy person. He had his mic muted earlier, but he seems to have figured it out, or at least he's told us. Cam, what is happening in your game?
Technically savvy. I'll have you know, I'm very technically savvy, Ethan. It's still 1-0 with 39 minutes gone. It should be 1-1 though, realistically. Horsell should have a goal back. Ball was played out on the left-hand side by Charlie Liking. He looked it all the way across the box. He's walking in here, but the flag's got it for offside. He gets it all the way across the box. Judarake had the ball up. He then drilled it all across the box. It's flicked off of probably the defender. And I turned away thinking it's going to go in here, and I've put the put in the group chat. But the keeper, Grant Smith, has managed to just outstretch a hand and managed to claim it off his line and probably have cleared it away. But I'm baffled how this game is still 1-0. I mean, chances for both teams now. 40 minutes gone, 5 minutes left till half-time. Probably 1, Walsall 0.
Thank you, Cam Jarvis. With more goals around the game, Coventry have equalised against Charlton. Frank Lampard's side have been on absolutely flying form at the top of the Championship. Dundee have gone up against St Mirren, and Tamworth have equalised against Carlisle. Their goal scorer, Ponticelli, which I'm pretty sure is a pastor, not a football player. But we go back around the games in the studio. Nathan, what has been happening over there?
Yeah, still 1-0 to Blackburn. Not much has happened. To be fair, they've been quite dominant throughout the game, not possession-wise, but statistically, 6 shots to Wrexham's 1, 2 shots on targets, same amount of corners, and 70% pass accuracy. Blackburn has been causing upset, like I did say earlier.
Thank you. He's pulling out the stats. He is an absolute stat man. Cody, how is it looking over there? Has it been a better 8 minutes and 30 seconds since the last time we talked to you?
No, just to give you a bit of insight, Jordan Henderson has done his best sort of impression of David Beckham if he was playing charades at Christmas in about a month's time. Aside from the fact that he's tried and miserably failed, you know, an out-swinging free kick from the edge of the box, long run up, deep breath, he's looking the part, and he just pings it at the Burnley defender, and nothing comes across. And that is the story of this game. Sort of the presentation's there, but no execution.
Well, hopefully some execution can be an early Christmas present for you over there, Cody. And Cody, he looks excited. He wants us to go back to him.
Yeah, the way this game's going, I want some execution on myself.
Oh, Marlon, he's had a more exciting game. Maybe he doesn't have the same personal ideas. Marlon, what is happening over in your game?
Yeah, well, I have to say I'm loving life right now. So yeah, I'm not sure about Cody, but no, it's been an entertaining first half. I mean, like I say, still end to end. Antoine Semenyo just looks unplayable. I mean, every time he gets the ball, he just dribbles 30, 40 yards down that left hand side for Bournemouth. Evan Nilsson as well. His hold-up play has been spectacular this first half. Sunderland can't really get near to him, and yeah, we are fastly approaching half time. Plenty to think about for Reggie Labrie, as yeah, they found themselves behind here.
Semenya does his shopping at Lidl. Did you know that?
I did not know that.
There you
How
go.
did you know that?
Because he made a TikTok about it.
Well, there have been, we'll get to some supermarket chat during half time, boys. I am locked in and ready for that. There have been some goals around the game. Danny Olmo has put Barcelona up 2-1 against Alaves. Melvin, not talking about Lidl, what has been going on in your game? Anyone shop at Asda?
I think reindeers might be reindeers, sorry.
It is almost Christmas, but
exactly. So he might do some shopping in Aldi. However, it's as I said, it's still been Man City. I mean, they have a free kick just on the edge of the box here. Foden and Reindeers are actually stood right above it again. I mean, as I said, City have just been looking so dominant. Foden fakes the shot. Straight into the wall. That's a horrible free kick. Leeds look to go on the counter attack here. Wilfred Nonto doesn't really go anywhere, and it's back to City now. Oh my goodness, this is riveting. Anyway, hopefully we get a nice second half, because since the 2 goals, there's not been really much. There's 2-0 in the 43rd minute here.
Oh, thank you, Melvin. I wish we almost could link up with the TV guys with Bo, because he could tell us about M&S, because I'm sure none of us are out here shopping M&S prices like old Bo is. Oh, Waitrose, that is out of my that's out of my tax range. We're back over with Max. I think Max seems like a Tesco shopper. He seems to love a Tesco Express. Max, where do you like to shop?
I do love a Tesco Express, but we've actually just had a missed penalty. Idris Khan, who drove into the box for Barnet, being brought down. Mark Shelton stepped up to try and make it 2-0 for Bees, but a great save from James Belshaw down to his right-hand side. Keeps the score at 1-0. Corner now coming in for Barnet. A great delivery and a foul there. Same game seems to be taking a weird turn after that elbow to the face. Could be 2-0 Barnet, but it's still 1-0.
Oh, thank you very much, Max. None of you guys could see, but as soon as I said Tesco, there was a little brighten eye from Max over there as he got excited hearing Tesco Express. During Max's talk, there was a big ooh over there from Marlon. Marlon, what happened?
Well, it was actually me looking over at Melvin's game, so I'll pass you over to him.
Yeah, I don't know how they didn't score there. City had about 3 or 4 chances right there, and the keeper, Perry, has just made some incredible saves, dropped his foot down, put his arm out, outstretched everything. It's beautiful football from Man City. They really should be 3-0 up here, but they're constantly applying pressure onto Leeds. It's another corner for them. As I said, it's been about 6 or 7 corners. Sorry, lads. Sorry, boys. And Leeds United have done absolutely really nothing since that shot that went over the post.
Oh, Josh, to take us away from that 6-7, you have some information over at Totton. But first, you will need to tell us what your favourite shop is. That is now the matter of chat throughout. But what has happened over at Totton?
Favourite shop? Probably Lidl, to be fair. Anyway, it's AFC Totton 0, Dagenham and Redbridge 4. It hasn't quite been 6 or 7 goals over here, but it has been 4 for Dagenham and Redbridge, and it's a beautiful flowing move. Really, the best section of passes this entire game for either team, and Dagenham and Redbridge has carved open Totton so easy. Timothy Dieng, their captain, formerly of Exeter City, formerly of Cheltenham Town, Gillingham, just wraps his foot around the ball inside the box and finds the top corner. I mean, Dagenham and Redbridge are so clinical. So it's AFC Totton 0, Dagenham and Redbridge 4.
Thank you, Josh. I've seen in the corner eye, Marlon's out here throwing elbows. I'm not sure if that's just because he doesn't like Melvin or something's happened in his game. Marlon, what has happened?
I have to say, Alex Scott is already on a yellow card, and it does seem as if he's just lunged off the ball at Mukiele. The Sunderland players surrounded the referee to appeal for a second yellow in the direction of Alex Scott, but nothing's given. I'm not sure if the referee didn't see it. He was a bit in front of it. The ball was ahead of both of them. But sort of as Sunderland were breaking away, totally off the ball, unprovoked, Alex Scott seemed to just lunge at Mukiele, nothing given, so quite a bizarre one there, but yeah, a lot of focus on Alex Scott for the moment.
Thank you, Marlon. There have been half-times flying in. Luton going into half-time, losing to Bolton 1-0. Bradford go in 1-0 up against Exeter. Wimbledon 1-0 up against Huddersfield. Jack Todd, I believe, is going to tell us about half-time over at Millwall. Has there been a late goal? I hope for his case there has been. Jack, what has happened?
Sorry to disappoint you, Ethan, but despite the multiple chances Millwall carved out in that first half, it's still 0-0. And I'm not sure how, because Millwall have dominated this game. They should be in front. They've only had to pull a string of saves about half an hour into the game. Aziz and Amarka have been totally likewise down the wing. Harwood Bellis has been a rock at the back for Southampton, heading away multiple clearances. They've been in it, Millwall, and they've dominated, but Southampton have barely just survived. They don't look like a team that's won their last 4 in a row, but I suppose they could flex their muscles in the second half and show us all why they have. But still nothing to chant about so far goals-wise. It's half-time, Millwall 0, Southampton 0.
Thank you, Jack. I did forget to ask, what is your favourite shop? And if you can get us Ewan's, that would also be ideal. Whether you get us that now or later, we'll be looking forward to it. Nathan, what is going on over at your game?
Yeah, half-time now. Blackburn Rovers 1, Wrexham 0. been a good half of football for Blackburn. They've been, as I said, once the game settled down, they started to be dominant. And Wrexham's just been poor. They've just been lumping the ball out, hoping Kiefer Moore could find a way to get his head on it, but he's just looking like a ghost of himself that you have seen before. So it's the upset's coming. The upset is coming. Blackburn will be able to hopefully climb up the table.
Thank you. There have been more half-times flying in. Lincoln have gone into the half 1-0 up against Port Vale. Swansea going up 2-0 against West Brom. Wickham going in leading against Rotherham. Melvin, what is happening over with you?
Nothing's happened. It's just gone to half-time. I just wanted to say a half-time message. It's 2-0 here. Foden scored in the first minute with a lovely lovely foot that went straight into the top left. And then Josko Vardiol in the 25th minute tapped the ball into the foot, sorry. What am I saying? Tapped the ball into the goal. There we go. But as I said, the entire match, really, it's been a domination performance from Manchester City. I saw a stat like a minute ago. It was 20 touches inside the box compared to Leeds United 5 touches in the box. But yeah, as I said, it's very dominant from City. It's half-time 2-0 for City.
Thank you, Melvin. And we haven't heard from him in a while. And don't worry, he didn't actually go through with his execution line. Cody, what has been happening over there?
Yeah, I mean, really and truly, I think even the dodgy stream that I'm watching isn't interested in this game. They're currently showing me a photo of Anfield. So at the moment, as it stands, not been a very enjoyable time. I was really impressed by the first 20-25 minutes of football. Since then, it's just really kind of calmed down. There's been moments of energy. Both teams are giving it their best, but the quality just isn't there.
Thank you, Cody. We'll go back around to some of the grounds. Josh Cole, what is going on over at Totton?
Well, it is half time here at the Snow Stadium. It's AFC Totton 0, Dagenham and Redbridge 4. And I tell you what, that half time whistle couldn't have come any quicker for Jimmy Ball and his players. It's going to be a massive change needed if anything's going to happen in the second half. Anything good is going to happen in the second half for the Stags, because it's been a Dagenham and Redbridge clinic in this first half. Andy Carroll, hat-trick, Timothy Dieng goal as well. They've just been clinical when they needed to be and have punished Tottenham. There's AFC Tottenham 0, Dagenham Redbridge 4 at half-time.
Thank you, Josh. And continuing around with some, I believe, half-time updates. Cameron Jarvis, what is happening over with you?
Yes, thank you, Ethan. It's half-time here at Westcott Stadium. It's Walsall 0, Bromley 1. Bromley broke through sort of on the half-an-hour mark with Ben Crowhouse. The ball into his feet, played by Mitch Pinnock. He turned it away, drilled it into the bottom right-hand corner. Past Miles Roberts. It's different. We did have a chance to drop it through Michael Cheek. He was scorpion kick flicked on over the top of the ball, but his shot on the right-hand side was saved by Miles Roberts. That being said, Walsall did have a chance. Charlie White Gibbs crossed over to the left-hand side, to on the right-hand side to find his Oake. His shot, it was the shortest shot cross. He drilled it low and hard. The foot was stuck out from a Bromley defender, and it almost tripled past Grant Smith. But he managed to outstretch the hand as well as the ball defender clearing. Bromley were booed off Walsall were booed off at half-time though, so they've got to change something. I think personally they've just try and react to Bromley's defence. Bromley have been really beneficial with just sitting in and sort of content with Walsall doing their job. So it's half-time here at the Westcott Stadium. It's Walsall 0, Bromley 1.
Thank you, Cam. We'll stick around the grounds. Max Freeman, we've heard from you a lot tonight. What will we be hearing from you now? Hopefully something exciting, even if it's not the game.
Well, it's half time here at the Hive. Barnet 1, Harrogate Town 0. Really a tale of two halves there. Harrogate Town had the better of the chances in the first quarter of the game. And then Barnet, through that Britt Asper-Longer goal, Dean Brennan will be chuffed that he put him in the starting lineup for today's game with that lovely finish into the right-hand corner. Changed the game, and it's now Barnet 1, Harrogate Town 0.
Max, I don't know if you've heard, but I've been not very entertained by the game that I'm watching, Brentford versus Burnley. So I'm actually quite interested in what's going on in Barnet. Now, you've told us a lot about football in Barnet, but I want to know about your favourite Barnet in football. So tell me, are there any haircuts that stand out to you in the football scene?
Favorite Barnet, I'd have to say, anyone with a good mullet, I think is the one for me. I'm trying to grow one myself. The lads can see my camera on. They know it's not going very well. So I'd have to say anyone with a mullet.
Well, Max, we hope you do not get a mullet, please, for your own sake. Continuing around the grounds, Jasper, I believe, is also at half-time. Jasper, what have you got to say?
Yes, that's correct. It's half time here at the Wembley Football Complex. It's Basingstoke 0, Walton Hersham 1. To be honest, it's all been Basingstoke. It's just that one chance they gifted to Walton Hersham. Joel Powell tucks it away beautifully. However, the chances haven't been really clear cut for Basingstoke. Only one opportunity that I've already mentioned, John Down's free kick. Easily saves. To be honest, Ethan, it's been quite a tough watch. Let's say it's a better 45 to come. Basingstoke 0, Walton Hersham 1.
Oh, thank you, Jasper. And we have had 3 half-times confirmed in the studio. Marlon, you are the one person to not have announced half-time so far. Is it half-time now?
Finally, it's half-time after 8 minutes of additional time. And yeah, Bournemouth going to the break very happy. It was Amin Adli with his first Bournemouth goal to open the scoring with a rebound, and then an absolute crazy goal from Tyler Adams just next to the halfway line. Doubled Bournemouth's lead. Enzo Lefebvre got Sunderland back into the game with a calmly taken penalty slotted down the middle after a controversial, it could be said, foul by Alex Scott. So yeah, half time here. Reggie Debris has work to do in the dressing room. Bournemouth will be the happiest of the two sides. It is 2-1 to Bournemouth, Stadium of Light.
Thank you, Marlon. I would say you've had the most entertaining game in the studio so far. It has been absolutely lovely. And as we go into half-time, I'm sure you guys have just got your screens flooded with adverts and whatnot. I mean, adverts have been flooding the game of football. Is it too much, Melvin? Do you think it's just too much these days?
At the end of the day, we have to realise that adverts is what pays for football, right? You don't have football if you don't have adverts, and that's unfortunately the truth. While yes, it might be everywhere, it's how football goes. Marlon?
I mean, it could be a lot worse. If you look at a lot of the teams in the Swiss and Austrian leagues, their shirts are sort of drenched in sponsors from top to bottom. I think the way we have it in England, that sponsorships and brand deals are limited. They're not everywhere. They're not too much in your face. And if you get bored at half time, it's sometimes it's nice to watch the advertising boards.
I even just remembered as well how lucky we are, because think about the Super Bowl. Think about all these American events where every 5 minutes they cut to a break.
Well, you guys get thinking, if there could be a half-time show for a UK show, who would you want to be headlining? You guys think about that. We'll go over to Michael, who may have an answer for that. I don't know. I've kind of put him on the spot here. But Michael, what is happening over in your game?
Hi, Ethan. It's just gone to half-time here. 0-0 at the Melbourne ground between Chelmsford and Torquay. And to answer your question, at halftime show, gotta be my girl Nicki Minaj. I'd love to see her perform at any type of halftime show. But the biggest takeaway from the first half is that both managers have things to address. Torquay need to find a way to progress the ball better and actually penetrate the final third and put real pressure onto Chelmsford. Chelmsford need to become more clinical. They've had a lot of openings, but struggling to find that final ball that will allow them to take the lead in this match. Still 0-0 at halftime, and Nicki Minaj, if you wanna do a halftime show, my DMs are open.
Thank you, Michael. I'm sure we would all love to see a Michael halftime show. Cody, was he going to be your name that you threw on the list? I mean, I've put you on the spot. You didn't look happy with me when I said I was coming to you, but you're stuck with it now.
Yeah. Halftime show. I think there's obvious ones in football. I think if you look at like Ipswich, you're going to have Ed Sheeran performing at half-time. Crystal Palace, there's obvious links to like Stormzy being from the Croydon area. But, I don't know. I'd like to see someone like a Kasabian or some sort of like big rock band sort of just absolutely smash it mid-game, get the crowd going, build up the hype for the second half. Yeah, what do you think actually?
I think you're throwing out some good names. You've got to go for them classic British bands. I mean, the Super Bowl, they kind of go like a modern one year and then an old one next year. You could maybe throw in like Arctic Monkeys or something. Obviously, you like you said, like rock bands, things like that. Maybe, I mean, I'm a Norwich fan, so I'd like The Darkness. You know, they're always fun to hear. Nathan, have you got any exciting thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, going on for what you'd expect, obviously Newcastle, you'd obviously have to expect Sam Fender. Sam Fender's obviously a massive name as well now, so you could headline anywhere, like an FA Cup halftime show. I wouldn't mind a Sam Fender. Me being a massive Indian fan, 1975 is a big one for me. I'd love to see them headline something, but it's not to everyone's taste. Some people have very controversial opinions on Matty Healy.
I heard that Dave Riley was born in 1975, but there have been some full times around the world. Udinese beaten Parma 2-0 and Genoa beaten Verona. Melvin was looking very confused at the question going around. He was playing me songs earlier when we were getting a bit of fresh air, so he clearly knows his music. Melvin, what have you got to say?
I don't know. Because I listen to different music to most people. Obviously, you guys mentioned Sam Fender, the 1975. I don't listen to that type of music. I'm not saying it's bad, obviously, but I would love like a Dave or a Stormzy to perform. Exactly, Dave with his new album. There's quite a few like UK artists that I like that I would love to see at a halftime show. But let's be realistic. Halftime show in football, we'd hate that.
I don't know if you guys know, but Norwich used to do a bit of like a halftime little game thing. They've mixed it up throughout the years. They had like they'd get two fans to go and like zorb balls and battle it out in a little 1v1, and they would all do it in front of the away fans. So you just get them just absolutely going for it and kind of winding people up. Cody, have you seen anything similar?
Well, I've seen a few nice little pre-match shows. I went to Gianluca Vialli's tribute game after he sadly passed away some years ago, and operatic singers were there, and it was a really sort of heart-wrenching moment and really got everyone in the spirit for the game in a weird way. The sentimentality was definitely there, and I think it made the game mean much more. Talking of other sort of pre-game shows, something I'd personally really like to do is go out to Real Betis. Their shows before the game are legendary, and it just looks incredible to be a part of. I think there's definitely space for musical entertainment within football, but akin to what Melvin said, it could be woke nonsense to have a full-on halftime show.
Yeah, obviously going back onto half-time, back in my playing days, my local team, Gills, they bring out fans, do like for the kids, they do like, penalty shootouts for those obviously academy youngsters as well during half-times, during the matches. I was fortunate to be taking part in that when I was growing up. It's good for atmosphere. Like, the fans love it. It helps bring the crowd and the community involved as well for it.
Well, thank you, Nathan. I think now we're starting to get to that point where we might be starting to get into the second half, so I'll get some predictions from all of you about what you think for the second half in your game. Melvin, obviously 2-0, has been a dominant side so far. Is it going to be more of the same?
Let's be completely honest. It's gonna be dominant by City. City are obviously one of the best teams in the world, so for them to be, this dominant is not surprising, is it really? I do expect maybe one or two more goals, hopefully. Leeds just don't look anywhere near prepared enough for their dominance. But yeah, Molon, what do you think?
Yeah, hopefully the excitement's going to continue. In terms of predictions, just because Sunderland are at home, I'm going to say they're going to nick a goal and get a point out of this. I think both sides would be content with a point, and yeah, 2-2, I'm going to say.
Cody? Are we going to see goals in this half, or are we going to get Cody walking out in frustration because his game is so terrible?
You know what? I bloody hope we see some goals. The game has just resumed, and yeah, it's one of them games where you can't really predict what's going to happen. I did say 4-2 before to Brentford. Now, it'd surprise me if it wasn't a 0-0.
Yeah, and Wrexham Blackburn has kicked off as well. Wrexham on the ball. It's gonna be difficult for them to try and climb back out of this. They've not been too great. They've held possession, but they've just done nothing with it.
Thank you very much, boys. Well, we are well underway in our games, but a game which is still quite far off to kick off is the England women's game out at Wembley. Rochelle and Chloe, do you have any updates to bring for us about what is going to happen, or maybe a prediction yourselves?
Yes, so as it stands, England are without their first and second choice goalkeepers, both through injury. So we could either end up with Ellie Roebuck, who she's got about 4 caps to her name, but she hasn't played since roughly about 2023, Anna Morehouse and Sophie Bagley, who are yet to play for England. So it could be an interesting one. It might be a case of having a strong back four.
Also, just an update is anyone who's into Chelsea women and the Lionesses will know Basil. We have just seen him. It was like a celebrity in the flesh. We were a bit starstruck and we didn't get a photo, but if we bump into him again, we might have to.
And we are just about to head into the stadium as we are sat in Club Wembley today. We'll be giving lots of information about what you can find in there. And also there will be a light show and a celebration of Fran Kirby's international career. Chloe, a score prediction?
So, yeah, just before we go, some score predictions. I'm going to go 3-1 to England.
I'm going to say go big or go home. I'm going to go 5-1. We beat China in the World Cup 2 years ago, 6-0. So I'm going to go 5-1.
But we'll catch up with you guys in a bit.
Thank you, girls. Cody?
So you mentioned Basil, my good friend at Chelsea FC, literally an icon within the women's game for Chelsea. And I actually met him a few years ago at Lyon in the Champions League. He was going absolutely mental at the Lyon fans and he was just loving it. Really wholesome, pure-hearted guy. Symbolic of what football really represents.
Okay, there are games kicking off for the second half all over England. Huddersfield scored in the 46th minute and conceded 2 minutes later in the time we have been talking. Melvin, has your game started the second half yet?
The game's literally just kicked off. Oh, yeah, just kicked off now, and there's been 2 substitutes for Leeds United. Yaka Biol, I think. I don't exactly know how to pronounce his name. He's just come on for Dan James. And my favourite ever striker in human history, Dominic Calvert-Lewin, has also come on for Wilfred Nonto. What a chap, DCL, who said he was going to play. He rejected Champions League offers to sit on the bench for Leeds United. He has made the pitch and hopefully maybe get a shot tonight.
I'm going to add my favourite striker ever, Dominic Calvert-Lewin, to a list of sentences that have never been spoken before. Marlon, has your game kicked off? Is anything happening?
Nope, we're still at half time. We had quite a long period of stoppage time, which will be the reason why. Plenty of celebrations, plenty of stoppages, plenty of controversy as well in that first half. So, yeah, we look forward to the second half starting hopefully very soon.
Thank you very much. Well, half-time has happened in Barcelona. They are 2-1 up against Alaves. You would assume they then, with their quality, would be able to run out into the second half. Cody, there was a little exhale from you. I sort of felt some life going out of your soul and not just the sweat coming out of your head. What is happening?
Yeah, sweat there is. And I'm sat in here very hot, very frustrated. And frustrated will be the 2 teams that I'm watching right now as well. There's been a few chances in the space of like 3-4 minutes and in really good positions. They've just smashed it outside the stadium. Like, oh, hold on, big chance. Oh, it's a goal. Oh, finally. Let's go. Yeah, brilliant goal.
The FPL legend.
Oh my God. Oh no. It's offside. It's offside. This might go to VAR, but you know, the way this game's gone, it's going to be off, innit? Oh, he's miles off.
3 meters off.
Oh, no. Oh, it wasn't him that was offside, to be fair.
Yeah, but still the same.
But, yeah, offside. 0-0 it remains. It was a lovely finish, though. I want to see more of that. Can he just do that and be onside?
It is, well, your second half has started off very quickly. We'll be seeing from around the grounds how some of their second halves have come about. Josh, how has it happened over at Tottenham?
Well, it's 47 minutes on the clock here at Air to Tottenham, and it's Tottenham 0, Dagenham Bridge 5. It's again another calamity of errors for Tottenham, not tracking their runs properly. Joe Hay was played in, and he beat the offside trap and was just breathing down on goal, 1-on-1 with Max Evans. He had so much time to pick his spot, and he did, put it into the bottom corner, and it's Tottenham 0, Dagenham Bridge 5.
I would hate to be him having to do commentary for Tottenham right now with that scoreline. Lloyd is at Woking. I believe they have kicked off their second half. Lloyd, what is going on?
Yeah, the second half has just kicked off, Ethan. It is still Woking 1, Brackley 0. Brackley have just had a corner. Someone has actually just headed it into the goal, but the ref called a foul. I tell you what, I would not want to be the ref today. He is getting all sorts of abuse from the Brackley fans. Woking are all over this game. They're really getting in behind this Brackley team. Sorry, the Brackley team down to 10 men. They have been struggling, and as I say, the Woking team are all over them. It's 1 to Woking, 0 to Brackley.
Thank you, Lloyd. And none of you guys could see this, but Cameron Jarvis has just turned his camera on in the call, so now I'm feeling as hot as Cody. He's giving a little wave. I love to see it. Cameron, we'll go to you before we go to Melvin, who's just cheered. Cameron, what is happening? Cam, you muted.
Sorry, I was on mute again. Can you believe it? It's nice to see you've gone hot. I am freezing out here, and it's always nice to interrupt a Malvin update. We just kicked off here, only about a few minutes in. Walsall have actually started a bit more positive. They've got on the ball and they're sort of with their play. Probably did have a good chance then. They managed to get the ball in the Walsall 18-yard box and finally picked the ball in the middle of the path. They go with this here. So yeah, sort of ebb and flowing 50-50 first half. I think that actually as we go is just keep with me for 1 minute. If the ball is played over the top, one chance to get there, and Walsall will clear it away. But only a few minutes gone here in the second half, and it's 0-0.
Thank you, Jarvo. Hopefully there is a lot more action in your game so we can see your face some more on our screens. Back over to France. Pat has more going on over in Monaco. Melvin isn't happy that I'm cutting away from him, but I'm much more excited about what's happening in France. Pat, what is happening?
Sorry, Melvin. Yeah, it's Monaco 0, PSG 0. It's been a bit of a nothing game so far. PSG really dominating the ball, trying to find a way to break down the Monaco defence as expected. But it's just great. It's great to be here, to be honest. I mean, I know we're on audio, but the backdrop here is stupendous. I don't know if you've been looking on Solent Sports News, but I'm sure there's a picture somewhere. It's just amazing here. And yeah, at the moment, not much to go off. Monaco 0, PSG 0.
Oh, thank you very much, Pat. And now, finally, we can get to Marlon. Marlon, what is... I'm kidding. Melvin, what has been going on over there? I've seen you all chattering, trying to figure it out.
Oh, there's been another goal. Sunderland have gone up as well. But sorry for ruining that. Here we go. It happened a few minutes ago. Obviously, I know you had to get your other people ahead of me. But as I said earlier, from rejecting Champions League offers to sitting on the bench for Leeds United, he's finally scored. Dominic Calvert-Lewin, the greatest ever striker in human history, he scored the goal. But let me make one thing clear. It was a tap-in. It was horrible defending from Nunez, who just tapped the ball and it just went right to his feet and he tapped it in. It's a goal. It's 2-1 for Man City. Leeds United chasing an equaliser. But we'll go to Marlon.
Sunderland have scored. I mean, Melvin's just ruined it 2 seconds ago.
Sorry.
But quite literally 60 seconds into the second half, Bertrand Traoré is the man who has found the back of the net for the Black Cats, and he's actually hit quite an interesting celebration. I think he was attempting to mimic a Black Cat just then. But it comes to Xhaka. Xhaka just rolls it through. There's so much space down that left-hand side in Bournemouth's defence, and Bertrand Traoré finds a gap, finds the corner. It's 2-2 here, and the entertainment continues at the Stadium of Light.
You were right. You did say that you'd expect Sunderland to nick a goal.
Yeah,
and they've done it.
Hopefully it stays like this now, and I'll tell you the lottery numbers later.
I think I'm also Nostradamus. I cut to Marlon and then they scored. Melvin cut him off, but we have more goals around the ground. Jack Todd, there has been a goal over at Millwall. What has happened?
I cannot believe it. It's a Millwall 0, Southampton 1. Adam Olsen scored the penalty after from pulling in the Millwall box. I'm not too sure what happened, but it was just ferocious in there. Everyone was throwing each other around. Millwall came out in the second half, but they meant to go on, dominated the play, got the ball down to the wings, pressed the ball in, and Southampton just weathered the storm. It's been a fantastic, start for Millwall. Southampton do now have the lead. They're in control now. Millwall, despite being a better team by considerable distance, have it all to do. Millwall Southampton 1.
The atmosphere sounds wild over there, Jack. But the atmosphere is wild in the studio, and it is all around Marlon's screen. Marlon, what is going on?
Yeah, incredible. The action continues here. We're literally 3 minutes into the second half. Antoine Semenyo has been unplayable this game. He's driven down the left-hand side, sort of crossed the ball in. It's taken a touch off the Sunderland defender, and it actually looks like it was going in. And then Evan Nilsson, who is in an offside position, comes in to divert it into the net on the line. Semenyo will be fuming because it actually looked like it was going in. Evan Nilsson didn't need to get in the way there, and he is the reason that goal's been disallowed. So yeah, it remains 2-2 here, but I mean, incredible action.
Well, there has been more goals around the games. Yeovil 1-0 up against Boston now thanks to McCormick. West Brom have equalised against Swansea to make it 2-2. Colchester have gone 2-0 up against Cheltenham. And I'm sure we'll hear back from Ed Groves now, who has a goal update from Rochdale and Eastleigh.
Yeah, it's been a goal for Rochdale. It's now 1-0 to the hosts, 55 minutes into the game. It was a cross into the box from Tyrion Alakira. Lloyd Humphries attempted to clear it, but he ended up beating his own goalkeeper. So it was an own goal to open the scoring. 1-0 Rochdale.
Thank you very much, Ed. Keeping it in the studio, we finally get across. There's been so much shenanigans going on. Nathan, what is going on over at Wrexham?
Yeah, literally just 2 seconds ago, Yuki Ahasi driving through, keeper made a great save with his right hand, and then just a rebound just from 6 yards, just blown way over the crossbar. It's poor finishing. It was should be an easy tap in to make it 2-0, but still 1-0 Blackburn.
Thank you very much. And to kind of round off in the studio, Cody Deadman. He might be a dead man by the end of this. I'm sure he's never heard that joke before. But Cody, what is happening?
Yeah, only all my life. I am finding my eyes drifting around the studio. I'm very much enjoying the Sunderland-Bournemouth game at the moment. I'm not enjoying Wrexham Blackburn. Man City Leeds is looking exciting, but Brentford-Burnley maintains to be just a shocking display of footballing talent, really and truly. Like, the game isn't even good now. They're not playing well. It's back and forth, but nothing's going on. Yeah, have you guys ever watched games akin to this?
Well, straight to me then. Yeah, I mean, Bournemouth, just confirmation, that goal actually was going in off the Sunderland defender. It was on course to go in. Evan Nilsson was in an offside position, and maybe as a striker's instinct, he just felt he had to tap it over the line, but Semenyo will be fuming. I mean, that's a massive chance to take the lead in a crucial point in the game, and yeah, I guess greedy from Evan Nilsson, you could say.
Well, thank you, Cody. We'll get back to your question, but there is currently a lot of stuff going on. Max is waving at us, but I'm going to go to Lloyd first, because he did beat him to the punch. Lloyd, what is happening over at Woking? Okay, we don't hear from Lloyd. Maybe he wants to hear from Max as well, like the rest of us. Max, what is happening in your game?
Yeah, we're about 7 or 8 minutes or so into the second half. Barnet have just had a huge penalty shout. Britt Asvalonga has been the player of the game so far. Takes the ball on the left side, drives from halfway into the box and is fouled, but no penalty according to the ref. Dean Brennan, manager of Barnet, wasn't too happy about that one. Still 1-0.
Thank you, Max. And we have more action from around the grounds. The first time we are going to hear from Coventry with Toby and Yuvraj. What is going on over there?
Hiya guys, apologies for the radio silence. We've been having some technical difficulties, so we thought we'd quickly go through how the game's been going over here at Coventry. Coventry started really nicely, and then totally against the run of play, Charlton were able to take the lead through central midfielder Harvey Nibs. Frank Lampard down to our right here wasn't particularly happy with the play that led up to the goal. I'm going to hand over to you, Raj, now to say about how maybe the tide is turning towards Coventry's favour.
And after that first goal, the home side was back with Josh Nichols scoring the equaliser, assisted by Mason Clark. After that, Ellison also scored a set piece. And Frank Lampard has been really animated throughout the game. And Coventry have been playing like the table toppers. And Yep, we will be back in a few minutes. It's 2-1 now. Currently leading.
Thank you, lads. And I think we figured out why Lloyd didn't get there straight away. He's turned on his camera, so we get to see his pretty face. So, Lloyd, what is happening over at Woking? I think he's struggling to hear inside of the ground.
It is 2-0 Woking. Woking just scored a penalty. I didn't actually get to see the challenge because I was doing an update for TV. But just as I was on the phone to you, Brackley have just hit the post. They have now got a corner. He's about to take it. He's waiting. His hand is up. He's taking the corner. It's gone over most of them. A header from Woking. Header out from Woking. Doesn't look like it's going to be much. Nothing here, boys. He's had a shot. It's gone straight into the keeper's arms. It's Woking 2, Brackley 0.
Thank you, Lloyd. It's not nice to hear that you like going to TV first, but it is what it is. I'll scrap with you in person. Going back around to the games in the studio, Cody, has there been something exciting happen in your game?
No, an early execution might be looming. So the only positive spark from Burnley during the game today, Hannibal Mabry, has just been subbed off. Leslie Oguchukwu, ex-Chelsea and Southampton player, is on. A more defensive-minded player. He has got the ability to make stuff happen and score goals, but watching this game, I can't see him being the difference maker, and I just think subbing off someone like Hannibal is just such a big mistake from Parker. Maybe there's another reason. Maybe there's something to do with fitness there. Yeah, I'll be back with you if anything else happens.
Thank you, Cody. With some more goals around the game, anything to stop Melvin mentioning about the Everton lineup like he seemed desperate to do. Crewe Alexandra have gone 1-0 up against Cambridge. Crawley have equalised. Gateshead are trying to make a comeback. They've made it 3-2 against Sutton. Preston have equalised with Lewis Dobbin, who I'm sure Melvin, he does pull a smile hearing the name of someone who has ever graced an Everton shirt. Truro have equalised against Hartlepool. Swindon have gone ahead against Chesterfield. And Huddersfield have equalised, a goal from Wiles. Marlon, to bring us back into the studio, it's been one of the most exciting games of the night, not just in the studio. What has been going on?
I have to say, the field right now is littered with talent, and the person I've got my eyes on, Antoine Semenyo, he's just ripping it up. Every time he comes down the left-hand side, he looks like he's going to produce either an assist or a goal. Nothing to his name yet, but he's unplayable. So I'd like to pose a question to maybe someone in the studio. Who do we see Semenyo joining? I mean, assuming he does leave Bournemouth.
It's only going to be Arsenal or United, in my opinion.
So no Liverpool. So you don't see Semenyo at Liverpool?
No, it doesn't make sense.
The perfect Salah replacement. Of course, it makes sense.
Nah. Just no. I don't think so. I think also, to be fair, Arsenal don't really need him.
Yeah, so why would he join Arsenal?
United need him though, because but
they've signed plenty of attackers.
Yeah,
I see him at Liverpool.
Let's be rational here. Would you want to join United? Me personally, I wouldn't.
Yeah. So why have you said United and Arsenal? You just said Arsenal don't need him, and he wouldn't want to join United. So.
I actually don't know, to be fair.
Yeah. So a perfect Salah replacement. We'll see where Semenyo ends up.
Hopefully at Everton. Actually, no, he's not better than Ndiaye.
Whilst I could listen to you two squabble all day, there's one man I want to listen to more, and that is Max Freeman over at Barnet. He is back, boys. Max, what is going on?
Yeah, sorry, it's very frequent trips to North London. It's a great place to be. And Simon Weaver is trying as much as possible to get something out of this game early into the second half. He's already had to turn to frontman Sean McCulsky, who he dropped before this game. He's come on for Levi Sutton. So Simon Weaver trying to come up with the goods to try and find this equaliser for Harrogate Town. Barnet 1, Harrogate Town 0.
Thank you, Max. Talking about Max, I remember when I was live, Max was doing this job right here, and I came back and told him, it's 0-0, not much has been happening, and he had a moan at me, so I think I'm letting him off clear for his boring updates, but keep him coming, Max. We're absolutely loving it. He blows a kiss. I feel cute. Jasper is over at Basingstoke. We don't have his camera on, so I don't get any blown kisses, but maybe you can give us one over the audio. Jasper, what is happening over at Basingstoke?
Well, speaking of nothing happening, I'm sorry, but this game is just as poor as the first half. Basingstoke's still on top for chances, but as I said, nothing is really happening. I really wish I could have something to tell you. Yeah, nothing happening over here in Basingstoke. Basingstoke 0, Walton Hersham 1.
Thank you very much, Jasper. And speaking of nothing happening in the studio, Cody Dedman, every time I kind of glance across, he's slanted more and more in his chair, looking more and more like he's just going to fall into the floor and just give up on life. Cody, what is going on?
Yeah, I mean, Southampton's known for the Titanic, and right now I feel like I am sinking into my chair. This game is still 0-0, just in case you weren't sure. Absolutely nothing's going on. They're just kicking it through the pitch at the moment, jumping and heading each other. Someone's just thrown someone on the floor. Long ball's been made to no one, back to the goalkeeper. Yeah. I might be part of the floor.
Oh, Cody, I hope you can turn this around. Maybe a last-minute winner always makes it fun. But there has been 2 last-minute equalisers in Germany. Cologne equalising against Werder Bremen and Heidenheim equalising in their game. Plymouth have had a player sent off, Laurent Tolage, for violent conduct. York City have extended their win to 3-1. Currently, it's the 65th minute there. Hoffenheim end their game against Augsburg 3-0. Back in the studio with the games happening. Nathan, Wrexham, what is happening? Is Ryan Reynolds a happy boy?
Currently, no, Ryan Reynolds is not a happy boy, but a triple substitution was made. Main one being Callum Doyle for Dan Scar. He's been sensational since he has been on, creating lots of chances, nearly scoring a goal himself. But he's been the player they've needed. He's brought the energy for Wrexham, and it looks like it might be working. They might be able to pull one back.
Yeah. Just to update, Bayern have scored a 93rd minute goal to make it 2-1 against Sao Pauli. It is Luis Diaz. It is exciting. And boys, before he joins live, because he'll be coming soon, Wolves have scored, so we're going to be hearing from Cameron Jarvis. So everybody react already to how much we're going to dislike hearing from Cameron Jarvis to give us that update. Is anything exciting happening in your games? Melvin?
No. Simply put, no. It's just been back and forth, really. There's been no interesting football. I mean, the biggest highlight we've probably seen the last 15 minutes is a yellow card. That's really it. It's been just back and forth. As I did say that hopefully there'll be 3-4 goals in the second half. We've seen one, but that's literally been it. I mean, Leeds here on the attack. DCL. Ooh, it's a penalty for Leeds United. Dominic Calvert-Lewin, as I said, inside the box, the best striker in the world. He gets actually, that might just be a slip in the box, but it is a clear penalty here. You can cut back to me in a minute when they do confirm it.
So much for that. No, there's nothing happening then. But there does seem to be something happening over in Millwall. There has been action happening so far. So what is going on, Jack?
Well, Millwall continue to create chances, but Southampton now have a foothold in the game, and they look set on course for all 3 points for the 5th game in a row, unless Millwall are able to punch something up in the last 20 minutes. The fullbacks have put in a better shift. Aziz has been marked out of the game a little bit more recently. He's had himself a bit more centrally to link up, but Millwall haven't created many chances since then, and beginning, I think, this is they're running out of time now, though. Millwall will Southampton run.
Thank you, Jack. And I mentioned not that long ago that Heidenheim equalised, and there is an unhappy Melvin in the studio right now. We mentioned his bet earlier, but it's not going his way. Nicholas Stark has been sent off for Werder Bremen, but Heidenheim, most importantly, scoring a 95-minute. I mean, you've got to assume it's a winner, and it is. It has happened full time now. Melvin has lost his bet, which I'm sure only he is sad about. We're all here happy because no matter how much money he has, it would never be a drink for the rest of us. Elsewhere, Bolton have had a red card, and Melvin looks like he wants to respond, so I'm going to give him the chance.
Right, that's not fair. That is really mean. You're a worker there, so I have to take advantage. Oh wait, but not like that. Anyway, back to my game of the City game here. I was just having a chat with Marlon here about the tackle. Wow. That was one of the worst tackles I've ever seen in my entire life. He's completely not lunged at the ball. He's just completely jumped at the player. But Lucas Menemetra is stood here right in front of the goal. His last 5 penalties, he's missed one of them. So he's standing up here ready to take the penalty. He runs up. And he misses. Oh, but he taps it in. It's 2-2.
Don't sound very excited.
Not really.
Yeah, Melvin, I must say, as much as it might be one of the worst tackles you've ever seen, if you were watching this game, Brentford and Burnley, you would have seen about 7 of them, so I wouldn't be too down in the dumps.
I think it's been a bit more than the worst tackles you've ever seen over in your game there, Dead. I think it's just been the worst football you've ever seen, unless anything's changed in the past 5 minutes.
No.
Well, Melvin said that, and he got a penalty 2 minutes later, so hopefully we'll be coming back to you in a second. Marlon, you've had an exciting game. It seems to have cooled down a little bit. Is that correct?
I mean, slightly. There's still chances flying in here, and Brian Bobby actually has just had a clear through on goal. It's a brilliant save, I have to say. But Sunderland probably playing the better of the two sides now. They've got themselves back in the game straight after the break. They've got a corner now, applying all the pressure on Bournemouth. So yeah, we'll see if see any more goals. Here they come. Nothing to report on, I'm afraid. But Sunderland dominating, I'd say, Bournemouth.
Well, hopefully more goals do come your way. Nathan, has there been any more action in your game? There seemed to be early on, but I mean, it's been nothing for a long while from you.
No, nothing much happening. The keeper's making some very strange decisions, whilst being pressed, he's trying to just dribble it around the attacker. Somehow managed to get it through. But no, nothing's happened otherwise. It's just been long balls, some maybe like 2 minutes past of actual play and actual football happening, but it's not great.
Bayern have actually made it 3-1. Nicholas Jackson has scored, one of the favourite names around the grounds. I kind of cursed the games in here earlier by saying that there were so many goals, but I believe there has been goals around the games. Jack Todd is at Millwall. What is the update?
Millwall 1, Southampton 1, and it's about time. Femi Aziz with a beautiful shot, add-ons into the bottom corner from the right outside the box on his left foot. Darted inside, quite more centrally, got his reward, and he's deserved that. He's been a live wire on that right-hand side, creating chances, driving it in hand all day. Millwall deserved that, and they look like they can push it with it here. Southampton back onto the top again. Millwall 1, Southampton 1.
Thank you, Jack. Cody, what were you going to say before? I know you're a big Nicholas Jackson fan.
You know what? I think he is criminally underrated. In fact, I think he's criminally overhated. He is a very good player. Admittedly not the best striker. He could certainly score a lot more goals. But if I recall correctly, he scored about 15 to 20 goals for his first season for Chelsea, which I'd say is a pretty good return. The only problem with that was he had many more chances. And so he probably could have had about 30. But no, back to what I was saying. I'm not surprised he scored for Bayern. He's a very good player. Just unfortunate for them that they probably won't make it permanent because the release clause in the contract is a really weird situation where he needs to play like a stupid amount of games that he never will behind Harry Kane. And with Harry Kane constantly being linked to Barcelona, whether that will happen or not, I do think they need to hold on to someone like Jackson.
That would be good. It is officially full-time there, 3-1. Forest Green have conceded to Southend, so it is 1-0 there. And we go to Jasper, who's back at Basingstoke. Jasper, what has happened in your game?
Well, finally, something has happened. We have a penalty for Walton Hersham and the visitors. It was a really clumsy trip by DeAndre Brown, I believe, on Joel Powell. And Walton Hersham are going to take this very shortly, so bear with me. It'll be David Rogalski to take Walton Hersham's top scorer. He's got 13 goals so far this season. He's going to aim to make it 14. The referee blows his whistle. And it's tucked away. David Rogalski scores for Walton Hersham. It is now 2-0. He sends QPR lonely Joel Halliday, they're on the way. Walton Hersham on course for their 13th game in a row, which is them unbeaten. It's Basingstoke 0, Walton Hersham 2.
Thank you, Jasper. And we'll go back up to Barnet. His mullet hasn't grown through yet. but I'll be giving you constant updates when we see him. He's pulling all faces, so I think something is happening. Max, what is happening?
Oh, Barnet have just had a great chance. Reece Brown, the substitute, almost combined with the other substitute, Lee and Delovu, and it was a ball that came across from the left, and Delovu just couldn't get anything on it. But Barnet definitely looking the better side. Brisas Longo got a pretty good reception when he came off. The goal scorer scoring his first for the club in EFL League Two. Another chance it looks for Barnet. Oh, I tell you, Idris Khan, who's almost found the top right-hand corner on the left-hand side of the box. All the pressure's coming from Barnet. Those North Yorkshire fans to the right of me are not enjoying this. Still Barnet 1, Harrogate Town 0.
Thank you, Max. I mean, I wasn't looking at Max there. When he announced that chance, there was a steward in the background who threw his hands in the air. I don't think he was doing his job, but he was absolutely loving the game. It is absolutely exciting. So, back to the boys in the studio. Marlon, your game has quieted down so much. It's been one of the most exciting. What is going on?
I have to say, Sunderland here are applying all the pressure. They've had plenty of set pieces, plenty of corners coming into the box, and they've just scored. They just scored a brilliant goal. Brian Brobby with the header. As you come to me from the corner, the pressure's paid off for Sunderland. I have to say, they've shown amazing character to get back into this game, and this fairy tale continues. Unbelievable. A real tough game, a real tough test as well. I have to say, the rain as well in the northeast of England is absolutely torrential. It's not stopped since the beginning of this game, maybe coming into play with the just sheer entertainment we've had on display. But yeah, Brian Brobby putting Sunderland back into the lead, 3-2, and there's plenty of Mackhams with their tops off in the stands, even in this torrential weather.
Thank you, Marlon, but I'm sorry to stop you, but you have had enough goals in this game. Someone who has not had enough goals is Cody. He is looking excited. I think he smiled for the first time this evening. Cody, what is happening?
Yeah, certainly. I think my jaw is hurting from how much I'm smiling at the moment, and I've got a gut feeling that they're going to miss the penalty that has come in Brentford versus Burnley. Now, Brentford have won the penalty, and initially I was like, has Thiago just tackled Ouattara, or has Ouattara tackled Thiago, or what's going on? And a Burnley player did just clip their leg. Now they're on VAR now, checking for a foul to see if my suspicions are true. It does look like contact was made on Ouattara. This could be a penalty, guys. They're taking a while. Twanzebe, the man at risk of booking and giving away a penalty here. Referee's looking at the screen, really slowing this down at the moment. Oh, this could be huge. Please, don't ruin my evening. Is it? It does look like a penalty. It's very messy. It's very messy.
Well, bring us back when the penalty gets taken or when it's about to be. It's been exciting. Nathan, what has been happening in your game?
Not much, nothing at all really. It was good excitement for that first 5-10 minutes of the second half, and now it's just died down. But I wanted to go on to VAR quickly. Obviously, the VAR is not in this level, but and Cody, you're speaking on it, but slowing it down frame by frame obviously always makes the tackles look worse than they actually are. So it's a big thing which I'm quite concerned about. Like, you slow it down to just a still image at some point, and you see the worst of it when you're actually seeing at full speed of how the play is actually happening.
Well, yeah, I mean, VAR, it's only in the Premier League at this level, so the man who has just joined the call, Cameron Jarvis, is definitely not seeing any VAR down in Walsall. Cameron, what have you been seeing in your game, however?
Yes, Ethan, I'm not seeing any VAR, and quite frankly, I'm glad not to see VAR for one weekend. That might change tomorrow, though, when Liverpool play West Ham. But what I have seen is a goal for Walsall. They finally got one through. Daniel Canning with the 7th goal of the season. Ball was whipped into the back post. It was then flicked on to Canning at the back post, and Canning just absolutely leathered it low into the bottom left-hand corner to beat the Bromley goalkeeper, Grant Smith. But ever since that sort of moment then, as you'd expect, this Walsall crowd has just gone up another level here, Ethan, and they've been going and going and going to cheering on. It's probably make a couple of substitutions. But both these teams, all 3 league meetings they've played together have been draws, 2-2-2. So it's pretty well at the moment. There's still 10 minutes to go. So This will be an interesting final 10 minutes. I'll give you updates when I can.
Thank you, Cam. But the most important news is happening. Cody, what has happened with this penalty?
Thiago, my hero, is just scored. It was a penalty in the end. They sort of went away from the foul incident and started looking at offsides. And even like measuring up the players on the pitch, it was certainly onside. Definitely a foul. Definitely a penalty. And who else but Thiago for Brentford to make it 1-0, slots into the left side of the goal. Keeper had no chance, and it's a very composed finish from the Brazilian. Brentford 1, Burnley 0. Come on, let's see another goal.
It's good for the FPL, isn't it, Thiago? A lot of people have him. Yeah, yes. he's a good pick to have. Speaking about FPL, how are you all doing in FPL?
Top of the league.
You're not top of the league, man.
I'm top of my family's league, so I'm happy. I'm happy.
Where am I? I'm first. Oh, you know what? In the journalism course, I'm currently second.
Who's top?
Toby Dickinson.
Who's that?
Sorry.
Sorry, Toby.
I am at 739 points, literally 3 points behind. So I'm actually doing all right. And I might be in the head. I might be ahead. Toby Dickinson has 6 points. I currently have 21 points.
Well, we did not ask for them updates, Melvin, and we will not ask again, but we will ask updates from Millwall. Jack Todd is here with us. Jack, what has happened at Millwall?
He was nowhere near it. Deserved for Millwall. They deserve to be in front. They've been better than Southampton all afternoon. Those goals from open play as well. Millwall 2, Southampton 1 with 10 minutes left.
Thank you, Jack. And we bring it back to the girls who, I believe their team sheets would have been announced for the England women's game. Rochelle, Chloe, what are your updates?
Yeah, so we are here. The team sheet is out, and we have got Anna Morehouse in goal. She has never played for England before, so what a way to make your England debut in front of a sellout Wembley. We have got Maya Letitia and Esme Morgan at centre-back, with Lucy Bronze right-back and Neve Charles at left-back. We've got a defensive midfield duo made of Georgia Samway and Kira Walsh, who will be captaining tonight. We've then got Ella Toon in that cam role with Lauren Hemp and Beth Mead on the wing, with Alessia Russo up front. Chloe, what do you have to say about Club Wembley?
Well, we're definitely enjoying Club Wembley. Hopefully you can hear us. There's music, there's drinks, there's food. It's all going on. And we are just about to get ready to go out for the pre-game light show. So we're very excited for that. We'll throw it back to you guys in the studio.
Well, thank you, girls. And we'll cut it back to Yuvraj and Toby over at Coventry. What has been happening in your game?
Yeah, hi guys. 77 minutes on the clock, and we were about to give you a brief on the second half. There was nothing happening, unlike the first half. But just when we entered the class, we goal by swim. And the second goal of the night, and we are leading 3-1 at the arena. And just now, the home crowd has been going. I mean, it's wild right now. And yeah, we'll be back with other updates later. Thanks.
Thank you, boys. And before we'll get to Cody, who I think has had more action in the last 10 minutes of his game, we will go to the more important man. It's Max, the mullet, starting to grow through now, I think. Max, what is happening over in Barnet?
Yeah, just about, but there is a huge goal here at the bottom, which could have massive implications towards the bottom end of the League Two table. Harrogate Town completely against the run of play, thanks to a Jake Muldoon finish. Lovely ball from the right-hand side, swung into it. Muldoon managed to get onto the end of it, have equalised at the Hive here. Barnet 1, Harrogate Town 1.
Max, you have a weird opinion on what classes as huge news when it's the bottom of the League Two table, but we do move on. Cody, it's been a long game for you, but these past 10 minutes, has it finally happened? Are we getting loads of action your end?
Yes, there is another penalty. It has been taken by Zion Fleming, and he slotted it into the right of the goal. Keeper had no chance once again. It was a brilliant penalty, and it came after a very comical giveaway in the box. Defender has literally stood there. One of the Burnley forwards, it's hard to tell with this stream, was stood in the box with the ball, just runs forward, And yeah, the Brentford defender just straight up kicks him and he flops on the floor. It's a penalty. Everyone in the stadium knows it, and Fleming is the man to convert it. A very interesting game now. It's 1-1. Brentford are on the attack. Oh, it's a great pass. Oh my God. Oh, it's another goal. 2-1, Thiago. Yes. He smashed it into the roof of the net. You bald legend.
Oh, you bald legend indeed. That's what I was going to say to Will Cope when he walked in the room. But, I mean, as we stick around, there are plenty of goals going in the games around. I mean, I wish that we watched Huddersfield and Wimbledon, as that is currently 3-3 in the 86th minute with May. But Boston United have brought a goal back against Yeovil. Maybe they can create a last-minute equaliser. Barrow have equalised in the 84th minute. Coventry continuing their dominance. Frank Lampard's side at the top of the league, 3-1 up against Charlton. Melvin, it seems to have been a boring second half over there with Man City and Leeds. Is that correct, or has there been exciting and you've just stayed quiet, which is unlikely knowing you?
Thank you, mate. Nothing. Absolutely nothing. Leeds United, I mean, they've been a bit more aggressive now. They've had more and more chances. But this football that City is playing is just so beautiful. They might not be putting the ball into the net, but they're certainly putting it into the box. It's looking a very good game at the moment. It could end 2-2, but I do still see a goal in it. I don't know for who. Leeds United have a corner, their first corner of the game at the moment, and we'll see if this goes anywhere. And it's headed back out. Still, Leeds United still have it, and it's gone out for a throw, and nothing to talk about here. It's still 2-2 in the 85th minute.
Thank you, Melvin. And a game where there has been a lot of goals in the second half is Millwall and Southampton. Luckily, Jack Todd is back with us on the dot with updates. Jack, what has happened now?
Well, a set piece came up top for Southampton first time round and was delivered again. It's Millwall 2, Southampton 2. Finners out pokes over an equaliser from close range under the legs of the goalkeeper. They haven't necessarily deserved it, Southampton, but they've stayed in the game. They stood tooth and nail. Actually, it's set up for a grandstand finish. Millwall 2, Southampton 2.
Thank you very much, Jack. There have been more late goals going in around the ground. Salford City have scored a third against Crawley to make it 3-3. West Brom scored a third. Malumbi making them 3-2 ahead against Swansea. Middlesbrough have gone 2-1 up against Derby with Morton Whittaker. Let's bring it back to the studio. Nathan, Wrexham, Blackburn. There has not been the string of goals that there have been in Cody's game, which who would have thought we were saying that, but what has been happening?
No, it's looking like a thriller for Wrexham. It's not Hollywood football. It's just disgusting. It's not great over here. I don't know what their plan is. I think they're just trying to lump it along for Kiefer Moore. Speaking of him, just skies it over the crossbar.
This is incredible in the Brentford-Burnley game. There is a lot of action going on. Both teams actually look like they want to entertain me now. Literally, it's so back and forth, it's unreal. Both teams really want to grab all 3 points here. Burnley, of course, are 1 goal behind, with Brentford leading 2-1 at the GTEC Community Stadium. Do I think they've got it in them? Personally, no. But, hey, both teams have surprised me at the end of the day. Anything could happen.
Anything could happen indeed. It's nice to see that you've been getting plenty of entertainment finally. Cameron Jarvis, he's reacting to goals, or maybe goals happening, chances happening. He's reacting to something. Cameron Jarvis, what are you reacting to?
Well, I am reacting to something, Ethan. I'll tell you about that in a minute. What I'll tell you is Walsall have gone 2-1 up. Ryan Finnegan got the goal. It was a ball whipped into the back post. I can't who picked it on. But then flicked on to Ryan Finnegan. And he just absolutely headed it high into the corner. Daniel Carney been given man of the match today here at Walsall. But it's incredible. 2-1, 3 minutes to go. I'll quickly tell you about that chance there. Gina DK played to him for the middle of the park, and he just outswung it finesse with his left foot, and it just went high right over. We are into a really interesting finish here because, like I said earlier, this fixture has always been draws. No wins for either side of the team that they've had. So Walsall can only get a first win in this fixture, but could go back to the top of the league, and it could really hurt Bromley's away form at the moment. Remember, 2 wins on the bounce, so it's going to be really intriguing. 2 minutes left to go at normal time.
Thank you, Cam. It has been enjoyable hearing all of the updates over there. I mentioned Salford equalising to make it 3-3. They made it 4-3 in just a minute afterwards. So, I mean, an absolute fall apart by Crawley. Notts County 1-0 up over at Bristol Rovers. I know that was in the contention for being a game watched tonight. I'm sure happy that it hasn't been. Dundee 3-1 up over at Mirren, and Cardiff have gone 3-0 up against Mansfield. Nathan couldn't find a stream for it, but I'm sure he's regretting that now. We have more updates from over at Basingstoke with Jasper Rowland. Jasper, what is happening?
Well, finally some things are happening here in Basingstoke. Basingstoke have got a red card. It's fullback Marcus Johnson-Schuster. He was shown a straight red card. I didn't actually see what happened because I was providing an update for the video. Walton Hersham running away with this one. Manager Billy Rowley's gone to Yeovil. That doesn't seem to have affected them, as they are looking for another unbeaten game. Basingstoke just have a slight opportunity there, and then Walton Hersham clear. So nothing else happening here. It is Basingstoke 0, Walton Hersham 2.
Thank you, Jasper. Basingstoke, one of the places in England with the most tax cheats. Another place in the world with the most tax cheats is Monaco. Pat Fitzgerald is over there with more updates. Pat, what is happening?
Thank you, Ethan. It is half-time here in Monaco. Monaco 0, PSG 0. Fairly cagey first half, to be honest. The most significant thing happening was a disallowed goal from a Salisu header. Monaco thought they were in front, but the flag came up immediately. Chevalier was absolutely mullered by Balogun in a late challenge, but no card was given. He was down for a minute, but got up after that. Apart from that, nothing to report, to be honest. It is half-time here in Monaco. Monaco 0, PSG 0.
Thank you, Pat. It's always nice to hear from Monaco, but I would say it's my second favourite tourist destination behind Barnet. Max has been the best tourism advertisement for Barnet that the world has ever seen. Max, how is there still more action happening?
Well, I apart with the penalty, another penalty appeal now, I think that brings it up to 3 penalty appeals for Barnet this game. And I mean serious appeals, not including the penalty that was given. It just feels like Barnet a battering ram to that box, that Harrogate Town box. Now they've brought on the big Ollie Hawkins for Kane Smith to try and change the game. It's all very loud and verbal on the touchline as we speak. We're into the 89th minute now. It's all getting a bit tense. I can only see one goal. If there's a goal, I can only see one team getting it, and that's Barnet. We'll see if they can get a goal or hang on, or Harrogate Town can hang on. If they do, they will go out of the relegation zone on goal difference, taking over Cheltenham Town, who are currently losing 2-0 to Colchester United. Currently Barnet 1, Harrogate Town 1.
Thank you, Max, and we bring it back to the studio. Cody, what a day it has been for you. Is there more stuff happening?
There has been yet another goal from Brentford, and personally it's my favourite goal of the night. Dango Otara.
Oh, what a goal!
Melvin. Yes! Oh my God! Goals galore. Goals galore. Okay, I'll let Melvin and Nathan react, and I'll give you my thoughts after.
Oh my God, it's an absolute worldie from Phil Foden. I was just looking at Cody. I looked back at my phone, and Phil Foden has just rocketed the goal into the bottom left corner. It's a sublime goal from Foden. He scored a brace tonight, and it's now 3-2 for Manchester City.
Yes, Ryan Reynolds has found his superhero of the night. Nathan Broadhead, just from the corner, just takes it through a sea of defenders and just manages to slot it into that bottom right-hand corner.
Oh, guys, that is crazy. I'm sorry to poor old Lloyd. He joined just before everything crazy just happened, and he's just disappeared. I'm guessing he got fed up of all of our goals. Maybe he didn't have any to tell us about. But we'll move on. There have been more goals around the league. Cody, you have something to say.
Back to the Brentford goal. So Ouattara was the man who scored. It was the best goal of the night. Sorry, got a little bit lost there in everyone else's celebrations. It was beautifully taken, past him deep from the midfield. He finds it in the box, runs past the defender, does a little fake turn, slots it over the goalkeeper's leg and just rolls it in. And it epitomises Brentford in this final 20 minutes.
Thank you, Cody. I mean, we we've been having a lot of action here, and Max told us we still got 10 more minutes of him, but there are full times rolling in around the Football League. Rotherham and Wickham end 1-1. Luton and Bolton matching that with a 1-1 draw. Lincoln beating Port Vale 1-0. And Newport 2-2 against Barrow. For all that craziness, there was one person we didn't hear from in the studio, Marlon, from the most exciting first half I think I've ever seen in a football game to one of the most boring second halves I think I've ever seen someone react to. What is happening?
Well, I was about to say the biggest update I've been able to give you since the third Sunderland goal was Reggie Labrie taking his hood down and braving the northeast rain. But Bournemouth have just crashed the crossbar. Marcus Tavernier lined up a shot about 5-10 yards outside the box, just winding it against the crossbar. Real powerful effort. Unlucky for Bournemouth. They are the side probably asking most of the questions now, as you'd expect, as they look to try and salvage a point from this game. But yeah, nothing else to update you on. Sunderland remain leaders 3-2 as their fairy tale in this Premier League season continues.
Thank you, Marlon. Well, there is more full times just flying in. I think this is going to be the next few minutes. Huddersfield and Wimbledon end 3-3. What a game that was. Wigan and Stevenage, a boring 0-0 draw, which is boring. And we'll go back to Lloyd, who I think will update us on the full time over at Woking. Lloyd, what is it?
Yes, Ethan, it is full time here at the Laithwaite. Nothing really too much to report in this second half. A couple of chances for Woking, but they pretty much just parked the bus and got these 3 points. And as I say, they do get these 3 points, which means they are on a 9-game unbeaten run. Whereas not so good for Brackley, who have lost their now 5 last league games. That was Woking 2, Brackley 0, full time.
Thank you, Lloyd. That did not seem like a £20 well spent, considering your voice at the end of it there. But there have been a couple more full times. Swindon beating Chesterfield 2-1, and Yeovil beating Boston 1-0. Bradford have beaten Exeter. Sorry, Marlon. Salford have ended 4-3 over Crawley. Hartlepool 3-1 over Truro City. Max Freeman is back in the call. I am excited. It's been him and Jack Todd are currently in the lobby, and they have been the two most active people today. Max, what has happened?
Well, I'm coming to you now because Mark Shelton stands about 25 yards out of the box. This could be the last chance for Barnet as we enter the final seconds of the game. I wanted to be here for you, Ethan, as it happens. Mark Shelton, just the referee just checking the wall, the Harrogate Town wall here. We're still waiting for the Mark Shelton delivery into the box. Looks like it's coming in a second. Referee's happy, blown his whistle. Ball into the box. It's a good ball, and no one's got their head on it. I think we're in the 4th minute. There's only 4 minutes. I think this is going to be it for Barnet versus Harrogate Town. A huge result this would be for Harrogate Town. Barnet 1, Harrogate Town 1. And there it is, full-time whistle as we speak.
Thank you, Max. Yep, that is full time there, as he just said. And there were 2 words put in the chat there whilst he was speaking, and that is Jack Todd just put in late drama. So tell us all about it, Jack.
Millwall kick the draw down for the 3rd and final time. Millwall 3, Southampton 2. Christian Kramer with a goal at the back post, steered it between the Golden State. Incredible atmosphere here in the Den. Unbelievable atmosphere. I cannot believe it. In time, what a shame against Enfield. Millwall 3, Southampton 2. Millwall remain in the playoffs. Unbeaten run is over.
Thank you, Jack. I heard a few words of that, but there was just the absolute noise, I assume, from the Millwall fans. I mean, there are late times coming around. It is full-time in West Brom. It is full-time in Cardiff, Doncaster. I believe, Cody, is it full-time over there?
Yeah, full-time, and Brentford eventually won 3-1. Not too far off of my 4-2 prediction, I must say. That first half, I wasn't looking very confident, but thoroughly enjoyed it towards the end. Great 20 minutes of football, almost to sandwich what was a very good first 20 minutes of football. Just an awful midsection, and yeah, Brentford take all 3 points in the Prem.
Well, thank you. And even though full times are running in, we all know a goal can be scored in a second. And Jasper Rowland, I believe it's not full time over there. Jasper, what has happened?
It's certainly not full time. It's Basingstoke 0, Wolverton and Hersham 3. Former Southend player Jack Wood capitalises on another Basingstoke mistake, and he seals off an emphatic victory for Wolverton Hersham. Data to get for Basingstoke, who go 4 games without a goal. Wolverton Hersham 13th game unbeaten. Basingstoke 0, Wolverton Hersham 3.
Melvin, we can finally come over to you. What is happening in Man City Leeds? Is it full time? Is there action?
So I just want to say there's been nothing absolutely special in these 7 minutes of added time. There's been 10 minutes added for some reason. I'm quite surprised. But the reason I wanted why I wanted to bring I can't speak for some reason. The reason I wanted you to bring me over is because we had a little chat before we started this radio show about me mentioning Everton players. And guess what? John Stones has entered.
And we move on to Max, who is live over at Barnet. Max, what is the updates over there?
It's. I just wanted to give more of a full-time analysis. This is the last you'll hear of me today. It's full-time here. Barnet 1, Harrogate Town 1. Harrogate Town and their 145 North Yorkshire fans that have made the journey down south will be the more delighted of the fans, heading home with a point. Brass Malonga goal and also Jack Muldoon goal will kept the sides level, and that's the way it's ended. Barnet will feel like it's a missed opportunity. Now, they haven't won since October the 11th in the league against Tranmere Rovers 2-0. And it's even longer, actually, for Tranmere Rovers. They haven't won since the 27th of September. But they do escape the relegation zone, as it seems, with Cheltenham Town, the last time I checked, being 2-0 down to Colchester United. Harrogate Town fans with another reason to be happy on that journey back up to North Yorkshire. It's finished at the Hive in North London. Barnet 1, Harrogate Town 1.
Thank you, Max, for making that a long old goodbye. It means we don't need to listen to Melvin talk about Everton anymore. To cover a few more of the full times, Notts County beat Bristol Rovers 1-0. Colchester beat Cheltenham 2-0. Forest Green beat Southend 2-1. Norwich, I'm sure you'll all be happy to hear, beat QPR 3-1, their first home point of the season, and they've managed to get 3 of them. We have an update over with Cameron Jarvis. Cameron, what is happening over at Walsall? More food?
No, not more food. But instead, what was supposed to be 5 minutes of added time is turned to 10, and Walsall have won the game. 3-1. I can't tell who got the goal. It was a down ball play down on the left-hand side. It was drilled across, and it was an open goal that he was tapped into. I'll try and get who scored the goal for you. But the reason we're so far deep into added time is because Bromley had a corner. The ball went in, and there was a clash of heads between 2 Walsall players. Never what was the same for the ref and by the full-time whistle. He didn't. He let the play come off, restart again, and Walsall have got up the other end and scored. Ethan, but Walsall, they've broken the draws up here. They're going to win. They're going to go back to the top of the league. It's going to be full time here. Walsall 3, probably 1.
Thank you, Cam. Been an exciting game over there. Nathan, I believe your game has ended. Can you round us up? Tell us what happened.
Yes, it's ended 1-1 in Wales. Just not a great game of football overall. Good late drama, obviously. Last 30 seconds for the Wrexham goal, and good first 10-15 minutes for Blackburn. But it's just same as at the Brentford game, just the middle part where just nothing happens, and it's just not entertaining to watch at all.
Thank you, Nathan. And I mentioned earlier Marlon throwing elbows around. He's been doing it again. Marlon, what is going on in that game?
I have to say, there was potential shouts for an elbow earlier from Alex Scott. There's no hiding that from Lewis Cook. A blatant elbow, and he's been shown a straight red card here. It's all going off in injury time here. There's been 5 cards just in injury time. I mean, challenges flying in left, right and centre. Tempers are not just raising, they've gone through the roof here. Lewis Cook's lashed out and he's been sent off. Maybe a sign of just pure frustration from Bournemouth. But the game looks to peter out. Just a minute left of injury time here. Bournemouth reduced to 10 men, but Sunderland remain 3-2 in the lead here.
Yeah, full-time scenes here at the Etihad as well. Man City 3, Leeds United 2. To be honest, some of the United players don't look overly happy with themselves. You know, obviously they've won the game now, but cut to Vardiol, who gave away the penalty late in the game. Obviously they've won the game now, but you can still argue that they should have probably done better, shouldn't have let it get to that stage. Overall, the game looked completely dominated by Man City. Leeds United did come in at the end and put a foot in, really. Came to 2-2, but eventually Phil Foden did end the game off with a late winner. That's full-time Man City 3, Leeds United 2.
Thank you, Melvin. To give you all an update, my dad has just messaged me saying, come on, Yellows, on the ball, City. What a win at Carrow Road. Cody, are we coming up to the last... Do you want to give another round out to your game?
Completely done now. I just wanted to say that before the show I said there would be plenty of goals tonight. Now, has there been? Yes, it's been a very entertaining evening, especially towards the latter stages, and I must admit it's been a great showing from the Premier League clubs.
It has been, but has it been a great showing for Coventry? We have Yuvraj and Toby back to, I believe, give us full-time updates.
Hi guys, it's going to even again at it's still 11 been on the last 6 games. They are probably
Yeah, as you said, all wrapped up here. Cries out for Ellis Sims. He was the guy who came with the difference today. He got the 2 goals, ended up wrapping up the result. You guys mentioned earlier in our brief little overview, a first half full of flair and chances. Second half was pretty tight and not a lot to go on. So Ellis Sims' goal, a hit on the post. Super Frankie Lampard. That makes it 11 wins in the last 12, putting them in good stead for Ipswich away in 1 week's time.
Thank you, boys. Marlon, as the only game which is still going, is there any action happening? Is it worth keeping on edge, or can we all go home?
I have to say, this game has had absolutely everything. We've had a red card now, we've had 5 goals, controversy, disallowed goals, fouls flying in, the rain pouring down, just pure advert for the Premier League right here. I've thoroughly enjoyed it. Sunderland look to claim the 3 points now. We are seconds away from full time as they continue their incredible feat in this Premier League season. I mean, no one saw them doing what they're doing in the Premier League, let alone, you know, fighting for European spots. So incredible performance from Sunderland. They've showed real character, especially being down at half time. And yeah, we are just moments away from full time. It remains Sunderland 3, Bournemouth 2.
Well, I think we should start rounding it up. It is full-time pretty much everywhere. I mean, I've rounded out all the games so far. Nathan, your thoughts on the show? Have you enjoyed your time here, enjoyed your game?
Yeah, I mean, great show today. Lots of entertainment everywhere. My game personally, nothing much, but all round in the studio, great vibes, and especially across the live matches that we have our reporters out to. Lots of entertainment goals, lots of late drama happening. So it's been a great day overall.
Yeah, certainly, Nathan. It has been very enjoyable. I must admit, like you, we have endured some sort of dry spells where not a lot has happened. But when stuff has happened, it's been very entertaining, and once again, it just shows you that there's quality all over the English football pyramid. Marlon, what's going on in this Sunderland-Bournemouth finish, and have you enjoyed your evening?
I mean, I've thoroughly enjoyed it, Cody. Like I say, this game has had absolutely everything. I'm not really too sure what more I could ask for, to be honest. I mean, end-to-end excitement, goals, red cards. We are still going here. We're in the 101st minute. The referee's still not blown his whistle. This is assuming all the stoppages, including the red card and the goals. Bournemouth are going to come and try and form one last attack here, but it does seem a lost cause at this point as Sunderland smash the ball away. Here's Unal to try and salvage something for Bournemouth. It's really getting desperate now, and the ball goes away, and that will be full time. Sunderland 3, Bournemouth 2.
Yeah, I think the show today has been really good. I think we all had some excitement in some sense, some more than other, obviously. Sorry, Nathan and Cody. But no, I think the show has been really good. Obviously, me and Mullen, we were lucky we got quite a few goals. I just want to ask everyone in here a quick question. what was your favourite moment about today?
I'll start first, Marlon. Mine was cutting Melvin off when he started talking about Everton.
Ref.
I mean, who doesn't love cutting Melvin off? But my favourite goal, my favourite moment today, no doubt, that Tyler Adams halfway line goal. Contention for goal of the season. You could argue Sunderland keeper Robin Ruffs was way too far off his line, but that goal from Tyler Adams, I mean, nothing beats it.
I just want to say quickly, my favourite moment of the stream was when Dominic Calvert-Lewin came off the bench. I said, from rejecting Champions League clubs to making the bench for Leeds United, he changed the game completely for Leeds. Obviously, they couldn't win the game at the end, but I think that was definitely my favourite moment. Cody, what about you?
I'd say my favourite moment was actually reflecting on one of the goals at Brentford. I believe it was the final goal, and in that I was absolutely swamped with celebrations from my right, with Melvin screaming, with Nathan screaming like crazy in my left ear. I think I'm partially deaf now. I think it's just been the electricity in the studio and just the sort of entertainment that we've all been privileged enough to be able to witness. It's been a really great evening.
Mine personally was watching the Formula 1 sprint. It was the football for me was not been that great. The sprint's been the highlight throughout before the show for me.
I have to agree, always. It's been a fun night. We have a last little mention from Cameron Jarvis. Cam, have you had fun over at Walsall? Give us a little roundup of your evening and tell us your favourite shop as well.
Yeah, it's been a great evening, a great ground here. Thanks to everyone at Walsall for it. Thanks for everyone, of course, for getting this sorted. I don't know if you probably caught the last bit of my last report, but it's finished 3-1. Courtney Clark with the goal. It was the man who's I think known across the Football League these days, Albert Adoma, who did it. Ben Crowhouse's goal wasn't enough to help Bromley get the way, but they're going to have to readjust now. Bromley are. Walsall go back to the top of League One. I was just doing my outro for TV, Ethan, and Now or Never was playing around the stadium, and I just wonder now if it's now or never for Walsall's promotion charge to League One. Only time we'll find out. It's been a great evening. The stadium, definitely in the last sort of 10-15 minutes, picked up my favourite shop. Well, I have to say, I'm from the Midlands. I'm from the West Midlands. I'm from Birmingham, Bromsgrove way. So I used to. But I have to say, I love an Asda. Well, I do love going into a John Lewis every now and again. That might be quite working class. That might be quite rummy from me, but I like going into those shops now and again. But I have to say, if you want to go for a weekly shop, it's got to be an Asda. But Ethan, great job to you and the guys tonight. Really stellar job. Fantastic all round. But it's full time here at the Best Got Ethan. It's Walsall 3, Bromley 1.
Thank you, Cam. I regret asking him about the shop. I should have known that he was going to ramble on. But we will give a thank you to everyone out of the grounds. Thank you to Cam. Thank you to Pat over in Monaco. Max for his constant updates. Ed, Lloyd, Josh, Jasper, Jack, Todd. Michael gave us a few updates. Yuvraj and Toby also bringing themselves in, and also the girls who will get to watch England play. And that will be a goodbye from all of us here in the studio.
Thank you for having
come
us.
Together.
Thank you, guys. It's been a pleasure.
Yeah, enjoyed it.
See you guys.
Thank you for listening.
We'll see you later.
Good night.